What's up, good people? Welcome back to the show. Hopefully, everything is fine. Hopefully, we on the air properly. Because I'm not even 100% sure. This thing is this public? All right, we got it. Yesterday was a pretty eventful day. It wasn't a perfect cherry on top of it because I really wanted Kevin Samuels to go on the air yesterday to address the whole Derek Jackson thing. That's not the subject of today. I'm moving forward. But yes, yesterday was definitely an eventful day. Definitely an eventful day. I dropped a pre-recorded video that went viral for me. It's almost at 17,000 views. Almost at 17,000 views. So for me, that's viral. For me, that bad boy went viral. Because I don't drop pre-records to get 17,000 views. I didn't go live on that topic of Derek Jackson responding to Kevin Samuels finally, officially, formally, even though he pretended like he didn't know who he was. There was a lot of little stuff, little small things and little details in there, but the biggest highlight is that he essentially called called the man gay. That was a little out there, a huge content creator to the next. That normally don't happen, especially two people who never interacted. Now, on the crazy panel aspect of this whole Black YouTube thing, that's a whole nother story. These panels get wild and people call each other crazy things. But you normally don't see two large content creators in a professional space get personal like that. At least I don't see it. It probably happens. But come on in, hit the like button. Yeah, I saw the thumbnail. I was supposed to do a show on this yesterday, but for reasons I don't feel like explaining, that it just wasn't going down. It was not going down, but we here to do the show on that topic today. So come on in, hit the like button. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know how we do over here. Even though I rambled for 2 minutes, yes, I'm still about to roll the intro while I go upstairs and grab my coffee. Still about to roll the intro, and I will be right back. But make sure you're hitting that like button, drop some comments, and I don't see the intro ready to go. Don't see the intro ready to go. Shout out to Hood Conservative Soul Provider. See a few people in there. BK Hammer, new in the building. Excalibur. I see. I just don't see my intro. And now this is going to look weird because I'm supposed to have everything set and ready to go. And the intro just supposed to pop up crisp and clear. But now y'all going to see me doing all my behind the scenes footage stuff. Oh, but I'm still playing it because I do need to run upstairs. So I do apologize for not having things set and ready to go. But at least I'm here and semi on time. Y'all was waiting a long time before I made y'all wait 25 minutes before I canceled the show yesterday. That was just rude. But Sneak Attack came through with that pre-recorded, so y'all got a little something out of me. Hopefully I set the table with my pre-recorded video, and Obsidian completely flipped the table over when he went live on the same topic. He went in. I think his video was at 16,000 views. So good things are happening. I'm seeing channels grow. I picked up like 300 subs yesterday. Somewhere in that realm. Seeing good things happening, seeing channels grow. A lot of people getting a little bump off the Kevin Samuels thing while he trending and going viral. A lot of us are riding that. I'm not gonna ride it till the wheels fall off, but if it's trending that hard, I'm gonna speak on it. But I don't believe in completely riding it till the wheels fall off. But yeah, you will hear my words, thoughts, and ideas on it. But we on to something else today. And once again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming on through. Make sure you hit the like button. The intro is about 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. I'll be right back.
Greetings, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
All right. What's going on, good people? I got something on my head, something on my face, but let's go, let's get it. Like I said, I got a lot of new subs yesterday on the semi-viral video. Got a video that's looked like it's trending towards about 17,000 views. So I picked up a lot of subs on that. So if any of the new subs are in the building, shout yourself out. Thank you for coming on in. Appreciate you subscribing. I do this I shoot for every morning. Monday through Friday is supposed to be the official schedule of the morning show, but I do a lot of Saturdays and Sundays as well. And recently I've been doing damn good at not taking any days off, but I had a 1 month streak. And that streak has been ruined. I'm trying to get back on it. Every day starts a new streak. Let's go. But shout out to those that make it in bright and early with the first comment. See the guy in the building says salute. Bernard Excalibur, what's up? Salute to you. D-Rock Dan in the building says good morning, BR. We got BK Hammer in the building. Kwame XX New. Shout out to all the shout out to everybody that make it in bright and early. Shout out to Melody dropping the links as she always does. Definitely shout out to Melody. Kwame Triple X came through with some congratulatory comments. But yeah, it's been going down. It's just an interesting thing that we got going on here. I know a lot of people differ when it comes to the whole gender war thing. A lot of people got different views on it. But I mean, we can't lie. This whole algorithm was created due to the I don't know if the right word is acrimony between black men and black women, or men and women in general, between, when you look at the larger manosphere. This whole algorithm was created due to that. And for a while, the manosphere was just, people throwing rocks at the bottom of a mountain, just throwing, just screaming to a mountaintop. That's what it's kind of been like, But it's just it's a different ball game. Kevin Samuels is literally at the top of the mountain now. He's bigger than Derrick Jackson. You want to know how we know he's bigger than Derrick Jackson now? The recent events just proved it. Derrick Jackson's video that he dropped, a response to Kevin Samuels. Derrick Jackson typically only responds to people that that's bigger than him. He responded to Kevin Samuels, who's trending right now. You respond to somebody that's trending, and you're already that big your damn self, and it only, emphasis on only, in air quotes on only, but only has 42,000 views right now. Like, that's lower than his normal. And I did a video response to his response, and mine got 17,000 views. My video on the subject is almost halfway where he's at. Like, I thought his was going to break the internet and get like 250,000 views, or at least, and slow walk to 1 million. Because he has videos with over 1 million views. So it's kind of weird. Like Kevin Samuels have dethroned him, but it's still hitting people with, you know, red pill and manosphere talking points and taking it global, taking it wide. I mean, taking it mainstream. That junk is crazy. That stuff is crazy. Cut to the chase in the building. Okay, hey, man. That means a lot for me coming from. I mean, that means a lot to me coming from you, because you know how to get it popping on that. That's really been the low key to your success, you know. Strike while the iron is hot with a good pre-recorded video on the subject. You know, yeah. I've been peeping you out. I've been peeping you out. It ain't all about the live. It ain't all about the going live. You know, sometimes if something happened, and I think I was the first one who responded to that. When Derrick Jaxn responded to Kevin Samuels, I think my video response was the first one to hit the airwaves. I don't think nobody touched on it or talked about it until I did. So I was the first one. So yeah, in that video, it got like 500 comments on it. So yeah, my videos don't get 500 comments. They don't do 17,500 comments in less than 24 hours. That don't happen. But yeah, if you strike while the iron was hot, get through there first, make it nice. Even though I could have made it, I was rushing. It was sloppy. My little transitions, how I make it fade out and fade in and fade out. I didn't do all that right. I thought I did, but it didn't. It was some sloppy stuff in there that I need to work on because I was rushing. But yeah, I definitely tried to get it in and make that happen. And that's what you do. Like, you got, I mean, I've seen your numbers. You know, you got videos sitting there with a lot of damn views, to put it mildly. You got videos just sitting there lying dormant with a lot of views. And yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you get it done. He said, but let's be fair. If Derrick Jaxn would have put Kevin Samuels' name on his title, his video would have way more views. But yeah, that's kind of the point, though. Listen to what you're saying. Derrick Jaxn has to juggle. Do I put his name on my video? You know, it's almost like I mean, that sentence right there that you just said kind of implies that if Derrick Jaxn would have clout chased, he would have got more views off Kevin Samuels. And that's the point. That's the point. Kevin Samuels is kicking his ass on the views to the point to where it would have been beneficial for him to put Kevin Samuels' name and face in it. Because then people would have really jumped on it like, oh yeah, it's on. You know. But is what it is. But it's we in interesting times right now. So shout out to everybody. In the sphere. Shout out. But let's get on to the topic today, man. I be observing weird things. So I share with you all what I observe. Now, I've said before, despite people in this space saying it's over, despite there are some people who say, let it burn. Like Usher, let it burn. I do like to check in on the Black community. And I have been known to say that you don't solve the problem, shout out to Obsidian, you don't solve the problems of the Black community without Black families. And I'm not telling you I just go out and marry some strag. I'll never do that. Trust me, I'll never do that. But we can identify what the problem is and where the problem started and where the problem went wrong and what will solve the problems. We could talk about that. And I do think Black couples and Black families, because the underrated aspect of building is the type of people you build. You know, that's you need to build more builders, and I don't think we could do that with Black men over here, Black women over there, and just coming together, meet in the center, have sex, go back to their respective corners, and eventually the woman go back to their respective corner with a baby with her that she raised by herself, and we statistically know that she's ruining the goddamn kid raising it by herself. So Black people being together and getting along and making things make sense actually matters. It matters. Might not happen, but I think it's the right answer. So real quick, before I show y'all, I don't know if that's going to work. What do y'all see here? Here's a channel, a YouTube channel called Black Love Channel. I already covered some things on this channel before. I talked about the high earning beta male, what a lot of black women actually want. I talked about, where's the video that I covered? I covered 2 videos from this channel. One of them was right here. This one right here, 270,000 views. It says, you need to keep your balls. This was a husband's panel where they were talking about how you got to keep your balls in the marriage. And I looked at that, I was like, yeah, that's right. You know. But then when I listened to it, it was a video montage and rundown of about how all the many ways that those men you see seated right there gave up their balls to their wife, where they basically said things and made arguments that implied that they more or less submit to their wives from time to time, or overall, or consistently. You know, one guy mentioned how he walks on eggshells around his wife. That was actually Kev on stage. I know Kev on stage. Very funny guy. Very funny guy. I like him. Very funny guy. That's the I'm clowning my boy. That's the I'll actually, oh shit. No, I didn't mean to do that. Back up.
Don't press that skip button, Porto.
No, I didn't mean to do that.
Lasers. Oh, wow.
Right,
They're still here.
That is
Immortals, Phoenix Rising, save the gods.
With Facebook Shops, your customers can easily browse and buy on Facebook and Instagram.
I want it
Yeah,
to
they
stop
black it
people
out, but
in
y'all
their
can see it
tracks.
right
I want
there.
them to see it, and I want them to
the guy
think,
sitting
I
next to
want
the
that.
wife,
I
and
need
he
that.
just sitting there
Connect with
looking all,
customers and sell your
looking all
products all
strong,
in
and
one
he got his
place.
head
Get started
down.
with
He looking.
Facebook Shops.
Answer
It's
Santa
like these
Claus
men
or Jesus.
in this Black Love
Jesus is
page
the-
that
Ain't no
I think
Satan
got
in
an
there.
interest
Santa's
of black
just
people
Satan with the letters turned around. You don't
getting
fool
together.
me, you sloofer devil.
They present it in a way to where the men just come off as so neutered to where any non-married man, any man who's single, any man who's not in a relationship, you don't look at that like, oh hell no.
Hanging out with me.
I'm
It's
good.
the
I'll pass.
funniest man on my Instagram.
Why am I hearing
timeline.
something?
Thank you.
And let me tell you something. If you need to know anything about
Oh no,
him,
that ain't
one
supposed
of
to
his
be
hit
happening.
podcasts is Righteous and Ratchet.
We're all a little righteous and ratchet. We all
That
are a
should
little righteous
tell
and
you
ratchet. Yes.
Who he is.
Yes.
What's up?
How
Come
are
on
you? God bless
stage.
you. You're
I'm having serious technical difficulties. That shouldn't be happening. At least I didn't mean for that to happen. That popped up down there at the bottom. My bad, yeah. But this video, it presents the men in the most neutered way possible. I mean, not this channel, this Black Love channel. It presents the men in the most neutered way possible. And what I simply say to that, oh shoot, my man came through, Coach Ali in the building. Coach Ali in the building. Almost missed that. He says, Fats Bernard, I can keep trying to tell people that, but they don't want to listen to me. Off the grid. Oh, yeah. I couldn't put all that together, but he said hashtag off the grid marriage. Yeah, I know. I hear you. I hear you. I've done some research on that. I enjoyed that conversation I had with you. That's called I believe the video is called Coach Ali, How to Do One-on-One with Coach Ali or Hassani Ali. I don't know if I said Coach Ali or use his full name, but one-on-one Coach Ali, How to Do an Off the Grid Marriage. That one was pretty good. Brother Ali has a wealth of knowledge over there. Y'all sleep on him. Y'all sleeping on him. I know. I be trying to wake Ali. Look, Hassani, man. I be trying to shake him and wake him up. They need to get over there. They need to get over there. But yeah, man, this page, this YouTube channel. But thanks for the super chat, bro. Thanks for the super chat. But yeah, they depict men in such a neutered way. And his channel is supposed to, be about black love, black couples, black relationships, and even black families and all of that. But they're not doing a steaming endorsement right now. Not doing a good endorsement for men who want to even consider this kind of stuff. Not doing a good endorsement. So I never looked at their community tab. I do not know how to get rid of that little box down there, so we got to deal with that. Relax, that ain't a white dude. That's a light-skinned brother. But Fox Soul, who did a stream, a show on Black Love. It was two black couples with black woman, black man, and then it was one couple with a black woman and a white man sitting there having on a Black Love panel. Like that happened. They did that. Let's talk about it. Y'all saw the thumbnail, and it's an even worse picture in the thumbnail. But I didn't mean to have that like that. Bare minimum like that. But y'all know where I'm at with this. Y'all know it was a video an image that dropped on the channel, The Black Man Can. An image that was sitting there of the woman sitting in the Huey P. Newton chair with her man off to the side, to the left of her, standing behind her, and the kids to her side. She was like in the throne chair. And me and the Game Changer and a few other people did a forensic breakdown and analysis of that. And we see more and more images like that where they just get it wrong with the optics. They get it wrong with the optics. And this gets even funnier. Not funnier. Sadder when you go to the comment sections. In all images, when it's a family and there's one chair, the man is normally, just for those that don't know, the man is normally supposed to be seated in the chair like king of the throne, with the woman to the left of him. That's typically how it go. And the kids around him, everybody either behind him or directly to the side, but slightly behind him. That's typically how it goes. But we have a new paradigm here in the Black community, because this wonderful young lady here says, not trying to comment. She says, soldiers standing tall and powerful while soldiers standing tall and powerful while the queen is protected and resting, so powerful. Another lady says, the queen is sitting down and the soldiers is on duty. That's right. Protect the queen. 100 check mark, period. Now, what I've said before, and I've been kind of on this lately, this whole queen thing that they talk about, I've been kind of on that lately. I've been kind of examining the whole queen thing. And the biggest fallacy, well, not fallacy, but the biggest outright mishap or wrongdoing in us calling each other kings and queens and all of that is, shout out to Tommy Sotomayor, is stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid because to say we was queens, that's like 400 years from now. It's like 400 years from now, Americans essentially saying that, looking back at America and saying, we was presidents, we was senators, we was this, we were that. No, it's not how it worked. We will be able to, the average person will be able to accurately say we were citizens of a country that had presidents, senators, and governors and mayors. That would be the accurate way. So that's the biggest flaw in that logic. The next biggest flaw in that whole logic of the queen is the whole notion of, I'm a queen, so I'm to be treated like a queen and king. You're supposed to treat me like a queen, king. The biggest flaw in that, as I've pointed out, as I lead more into what I want to get into here, I want to set it up for you. The queen is treated like a queen by her subjects. The king is not a subject of the queen. the queen is actually one of the king's subjects. Now he's going to treat her, hopefully, in most cases, I think, different than just some servant or peasant. But at the end of the day, as we found out with Henry VIII, we did a little on-the-air research on this. Some people already had the information, had to do some on-the-air research. He, off with her head. He went off with her head. So there's that. I need to fix my camera because it's like I'm not looking directly at y'all when I look straight ahead. I don't know if I'm looking directly at y'all now when I look up like that. But either way, I got to fix the camera and get that fixed. Oh, there it go. It's kind of there. It's close enough. Whatever. We'll get that figured out. Next show. Hopefully that'll be together. The king can go off with the queen's head if she gets out of line. Not condoning off with their head, even though I know some of you in the chat, even though I start every day saying, what's up, good people? Y'all prove to me every day that y'all not good people. That black queen over the black man has been pushed heavy since the Black Panther movement dropped. Yeah, some people have came on my show and have mentioned how the Black Panthers were basically pushing feminism. Something I didn't know. So yeah, I gotta do a whole show on that. Gotta find an expert to come and speak on that one because yeah, that's interesting. I know the mindset I used to have. I used to think like this. After the civil rights movement, I used to think like this. Okay, it's a deficit in this country to be a man. It's a deficit in this country to be a woman. So after the civil rights movement, black women, yeah, they got their skin covered, but they still had the ovary problem. They had ovaries still, so they had to go fight that fight. They had 2 fights. So there's nothing wrong with them going and getting in that fight. But that fight can create a mentality where they're separate from, where they're ultimately separate from us. And if they're separate from us, everything that was fought for in the first fight, the civil rights movement, becomes null and void because now black men and black women are separate. So that's a different thing. And there's a lot of cultural changes and a lot of other factors and a lot of this and a lot of that I'm not getting into. I think people oversell the mass incarceration, even though I have saw some charts and graphs with made some correlations. But I mean, I do think that bigger than the mass incarceration, I do believe that women, either by way of being able to work, get a job, get their education and get all of that, women in this country have been more educated than men since 1980 of all races. I recently just watched a stream that it was an Instagram live stream with 1,000 it had 1,000 viewers, 1,000 people, 1,000 live viewers. So they sitting there watching it, and they this chick, she interviewing people. I don't know, I genuinely don't know her name. I'm not pulling a Derek Jackson when he's pretending to not know Kevin Samuels' name. I literally don't know this chick's name. She sounded like the scratchy voice chick in Why Did I Get Married, that Tyler Perry movie. That chick, that the annoying, the out of pocket wife that was married to the buff dude. I can't think of her name either. Can't think of the actor's name or the character. Angela. I think that was the character's name. This chick sounded like her giving relationship advice or just like helping me and matchmaker or something. It's very, very annoying. Voice very scratchy. But she said, she was talking about how, she asked, what's your deal breakers? And sometimes money would be one of the things people would bring up. And she brought up how, she was trying to say women shouldn't care that much about the whole money aspect of it. She was trying to say that and throw that out there. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Let me make sure that I've hit the like button too. She was saying that, money shouldn't be the main thing or whatever. But she also pointed out that, sometimes, some of our women make more money than some of the men. That's actually statistically true if you put some in front of all those words. She pointed out how she was like, because black women are more educated than black. Okay, she wasn't patting her weave. She said the black women are more educated than black men, And so yeah, sometimes we make more money than them. As I've said, if you're new to this show, because I do think I got new people coming on in. Charles Merchant said, if you protect your queen, you are a drone. Be subscribed to this same thing. Oh, yeah, we about to get into that. Gotta ask this. Stand down and stand by. We about to get into that. But yeah, what they were, well, yeah, it just blows my mind. And I'm going to keep saying this till I'm blue in the face until I see other people not saying it no more. How she brought up in the conversation that black women are more educated than black men. And as I said before, ever since I believe 1979 was the year is when college campuses went 51% women, 49% men. And that's been growing. They've been growing apart. Men get educated less. White women are more educated than white men. Hispanic and Latino women are more educated than Hispanic and Latino men. The only man that's more educated than his woman is Asian men, but that fluctuates because right now they just 1 percentage point higher. Next year, give or take a few factors, their women might get 1 percentage point 1 percentage point higher. So they pretty much equal. The last stats I saw, 51% of Asian men had at least a bachelor's degree, and 50% of Asian women had at least a bachelor's degree. Those stats could come out the next year and they could be flipped where the Asian women will be at 51 and the Asian men will be at 50. Why are black women the only ones who constantly throw that information that they're more educated than their men into relationship conversations? They're the only group of women that do that. Hispanic and Latino women are more educated than Hispanic and Latino men. And Hispanic and Latino men, as I've said this till I'm blue in the face, on average, we out-earn Hispanic and Latino men. Not by a huge margin, but we do statistically make more than them. It is what it is. I found some studies where, give or take how it was worded, how it was put together, may have had them more. But for the most part, most studies, most everything you find, it will have us making more. But be that as it may, Hispanic and Latino women are not throwing it in their face that they're more educated than their men, and white women are not throwing it in their face that they're more educated than their men. Why? Because their men still make more money than them. And one would think that for black women it's some big issue, some big thing, because the view out there and what was implied in this show, this Instagram live that I'm bringing up, where it was 1,000 people watching, what was implied and unchallenged from the chat, what was implied is that black women earn more money than black men, which they don't. Average black woman at about 35,000, average black man at about 40,000. $5,000 difference. Not that big of a difference, but still a difference. One stat that I used to get wrong, I used to say white women made about 40,000. I actually found out white women make 45,000 a year, and white men make on average 50,000 a year. $5,000 gap. The gap between white women and white men is the same between the gap between black men and black women. Now, if you want to say that black men need to up their game to the level of where white men are at, okay, fair enough. That's fair. Yeah. We need to do that. But in the process, you ain't about to talk they're not about to talk like they out earning others, just in waving their nuts of their education in the face of us, because Hispanic and Latino women aren't doing that, and they're marrying their men, and they're more educated than their men, and their men make more than them, but less than us. That's logic that has to get followed, that has to get put into these conversations. So I will keep repeating that as much as possible, because people need to say that. I need to, when people make stupid comments, I won't be happy until, because I know there are going to be always some content creators who are going to make some stupid comments. And by content creators, I'm talking about mostly women, or as they would call them, the men who are the matriarchal drones. They're going to make some silly comments. I won't be happy until I see the comment section full of people saying, no, but it's actually, this is actually the truth right here. I won't be happy until I see that. So I will speak to I'm blue in the face until I see that. But to get back to what Charles Merchant said about who protects the queen. In this scenario, where they said essentially those are soldiers on guard protecting the queen. I read an article that talked about how the queen king references in the black community ultimately come down to it's really not a king queen type of thing. What a lot of them be pushing for is a queen servant type of deal. So in this scenario, on this Black Love channel that supposedly cares about black men and black women being together, the woman is sitting on the throne and the man is off to the side I initially said servant, but they gave him a promotion to soldier, but he's nowhere near in position of king, and that's the imagery, and that's what they put out there. That's what that's what it is. It's almost like a drone type of deal, and that, like when you put that kind of imagery out there. And that's what you're saying. Not just the imagery, the comments. He said the queen, that's what they want. The queen, as I showed right there, the queen is sitting down and the soldiers is on duty. That's right, protect the queen. Now, some good work has been done because I've been banging this drum and many others have been banging the drum before me, to where before you wouldn't see things like this happening. Where, this person was like, isn't it powerful? Taylor Davis. But Elohim Rules says, no seat, no king. Well done, young man. Well done. This person here says, nice pick of the black family, but it's out of order. Amen. And so is the world. The king should be seated the center of the head, flanked by his queen and children. Yes, people are catching on. I've been raising hell about this kind of stuff. And I can't take all credit because there's been plenty of people raising hell before me. But before, things will go unchallenged. Now things get challenged in chat rooms, and we have our own platforms where we talk about this kind of thing. Liberty Jewel says, I love all black. That's almost an obsidian. Yes, right there. She almost dropped a yeah. I can't do it. She almost dropped that. Come on, melanin people. Why I thought that was Tiffany Haddish. That's actually funny. Somebody wants the mahogany princess wants that chair. This is royalty. Elohim Rules came back. He said matriarchy in full effect. Looks like Gabrielle Union and Gabrielle and D Wade. Oh, I see what he did there. He said looks like Gabrielle and D Wade Union or Dwayne Union. Oh, snap. Yeah, definitely makes the woman look masculine. Yeah, and women are praising it. But we had to be masculine. We had to be if it's something that's hard, let's explore that. They had to be masculine thing. If something is hard that you had to do, that you would force to do it, I don't think you would just revel in the glory of this thing, this burden you had to carry. I don't think you sitting there with your feet up, with your feet up, grabbing your nuts about this horrid task of being masculine. Look at that. Somebody come look at this. Does this look like a woman? Does this look like a woman who had masculinity forced upon her against her will? I just wanted to be a little feminine princess, but I just had to, even though I got a man beside me who I could, be feminine to and stand up to the left of him and let him sit on the throne. No, she don't look like she's having masculinity forced upon her. She's look like she's basking in the glory of it with her leg cocked up, grabbing her nuts. But we supposed to believe we didn't want to be masculine. Bullshit. I mean, I like to science it every now and then. And yes, it's true that black men got more testosterone than every other group of men. And that probably got something to do with, why we more athletic and why we, run faster, jump higher, and kick ass in a fight, even though that theory has been challenged lately. Shout out to Nate Robinson. Has anybody woke him up yet? Is Nate Robinson okay? I don't know if he's still asleep. But anyway, overall, we know the deal, until recently. All the heavyweight champions, most of them, vast majority of them have been black. Most of the champions in boxing have been black. And we know the deal. We see it in street fights. Y'all know. Y'all see. We see it in street fights. 9 times out of 10, the black dude is whipping ass in a one-on-one fight. We know how that go. It's actually been proven that, yeah, we can run faster, jump higher, and punch harder on average. That's been proven. But there's that. However, women tend to be a lot like their men. And much like how Asian men are the shortest, less testosterone having men, but very good at math. Well, I'll be damned, their women are the shortest, less testosterone having women who are good at math. So I hate to just try to science it and say that, okay, the black women on average have more testosterone than the average woman, so they're going to be a little more masculine than the average woman. But I think it's fair to just have the discussion about that. But if we're going to have that discussion, I mean, what they need to say is not we were forced to be masculine, we had it thrusted upon us. No, I mean, you could say that I have to make a concerted effort to dial it back and be more feminine. You can say that. You could say that that's probably a fair statement. But what they try to do is try to make the little BS argument that, oh, I'll be feminine when around the right man, but until then, I'm going to walk around, waving my hand in the air, walk around talking shit and grabbing my nuts until the right man come up, and then it's morphin' time. I'm going to just go to a metamorphosis and turn into a little Disney princess. And no, not how it works. You are who you are. Now, we've heard guys argue that, and what they're really arguing about is they're making an argument of sexual access when they argue that. That is an argument of sexual access. Yes, when a woman is having sex with you, of course she's feminine. She's on her back with her knees on her shoulder. You can't be in a more submissive position if you try, other than bending over. But those are two of the most submissive positions a person could possibly get in. The act of sex for a woman is a very submissive act, which it blows me away. Some of them will have sex, enjoy the sex, recover from some good sex, and could get up and then still start talking shit to the dude, an hour later over some stupid petty stuff. Like I'll never understand that. I would never understand that. This person just had you naked, bent over, pulling your hair, spanking you. You get up from the sex, and now you want to tell him what to do. Well, he ain't doing nothing. He ain't leading nothing. If your leadership skills was something you cared about, then leadership skills would have been a prerequisite before you gave raw sexual access to that man. You don't give a damn about leadership skills. No, you want to sit on that damn throne just like that. I'm quite sure that man is working. The man in that picture. I'm quite sure he's working. I'm quite sure he paid bills. I'm quite sure he got a job just like she got a job. I mean, statistically, black men make more money than women. Black men are less employed, and I did do some research. There are some areas where it fluctuates, where the amount of women in that particular area, for whatever reason, that got jobs compared to the amount of men in that area that got jobs. There is an imbalance in some areas. So sometimes women may have to do a statistical analysis on where the men are. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. He always talks about that. He asks them what city they're in, and he like, ooh, that's a bad market. That's a tough market because, you know, Black Demographics has the numbers. For some places, it's like for every 125 eligible men with a job, not eligible, for every 125 men with a employed men, there's like 100 employed women. For some places, it's flipped around. For every 100 employed women, it's like 67 employed men or Black men. I don't know why in some places it flips around like that, but there are some markets where women are more employed than men in some areas in some cities. But overall, we're not talking about that big of a difference when we're talking about labor force participation. We're talking about Black women at something like 70 or 71% are in the labor force. Black men at I think like 68%. That is a difference. But it's not some overwhelming difference. Not some overwhelming difference to where Black men should just be viewed as these non-working guys being taken care of by women. Now, statistically, because even with white people, 30% of white men are not in the labor force. So statistically, there are going to be a percentage of men not working, especially when women make up 50% of the labor force. That's stats. That's stats that are hard to get around. If y'all doing super chats when I be having the YouTube screen up, I do apologize. If I missed any super chats. Because your super chatters are the heartbeat of the show until I can make some more viral videos like I did yesterday. Struck while the iron was hot on that Derrick Jackson one. When semi. Most people, that ain't viral. But for me, that's viral. But my man Osama in the building, he says, BR, you killed the game with that Jackson response. Man, I wasn't even fully happy with it, man. Because I felt like it was a rushed job. You know, I wanted to make it look better. When you do it, pre-recorded videos, it's better. It's really easier to just shoot from the hip. It really is. Got to do a pre-recorded video. I don't know why. If I don't got an audience, it just don't feel right. It feel weird. It feel awkward. Yeah, I make mistakes more. I fumble on my words. So I ended up talking for a long time and saying a lot of different stuff and then having to edit it down to what I wanted to keep. So it's like you talk for a while, then you got to watch the whole thing over, then you got to edit and clip it and do this and do that. I mean, so it was a lot of stuff that hit the cutting room floor because I didn't want it to be that long. I really only wanted it to be like 12 minutes long. I wanted it to be as YouTube friendly as possible. You know, I wanted to try to hit that algorithm, make a nice, precise, well edited and clipped 12-minute video. So I accomplished my goal, but I wanted it to be a lot better and a lot cleaner. The little fade in and fade out transitions, for some reason, I in the editing software, I thought I did it right, but it didn't do right. You know, so yeah, it's a work in progress. But I'm going to be dropping a lot of those. You know, timely topics. I'll be dropping videos on that. I'll do my normal live show and then just integrate the pre-recorded. But I don't want to do like I did yesterday, where I did the pre-recorded but didn't do live. I want to do them both simultaneously. That's what I'm. But thanks and salute and shout out to you. Evie Now 23 in the building. He says, there's no fear/respect. These Black women for Black men. Sad. How can you ask? She said ask, but I'm sure pretty confident she means ask for protection if you believe you're equal to your man. Right on. They thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that, Evie Now. What they are doing here, they are saying he is protecting, and I'm going to show you another the other example of that I showed where they tried to argue that the man is protecting. I mean, this man, he's at least standing in a position where he bare minimum looked tough. The other video I showed with a woman sitting in a chair like that with her legs crossed with her man to the side of her, the dude looked completely neutered. I mean, this dude don't look neuter. He just looked very drone-ish, Manchurian Candidate-ish, but he, you know, I guess he looked like he can fight. Well, I don't know. That's what they calling it. The soldiers protecting the throne, the queen on the throne. Well, clearly he's not a king. She's a queen with subjects. Clearly, this man is no king. Is this your king? All right. Where we at here? We got why I thought that was Tiffany Haddish. That's funny. Matriarchy in full effect looks like Gabrielle and Dwayne Union. Yeah, definitely makes a woman look masculine. St. Thomas. Every other culture has the man in the seat of the nation, but not us. Good old Negroes shaking my head. We're always backwards down. No other nation respects us with our women in the lead. I don't feel like the women are in the lead. I don't like when people say that. They're not necessarily. What are they leading? How are they leading? I mean, I'm not going to call that the women are leading if really what, in my estimation, is happening. They're more or less going astray. Not leading. I mean, they're leading children by themselves. And I reject the premise that men are just leaving their families. Yeah, that happened. I think that there's a lot less families being created. A lot less houses are homes. They're not homes. They're houses where a guy comes by and drops off some dick every now and then she impregnates her, and they were never really together. Or even if they were together, as I always stated, we know from marriages, women file 80% of the divorces when they complete their relationship goals bucket list. They end up not even wanting it. So we can conclude that they're probably the ones ending a lot of these relationships. So it puts them in a position where they're being the only teacher of the kid, because the guy is off to the side after the relationship ends, unless he just has an open door policy, which most of them don't, unless they still want sex from the guy, unless they're still getting sex from the guy. Chances are he's going to be reduced down to he's going to be reduced down to Uncle Dad status. So in that sense, they are leading, in the sense that they're leading the children by themselves in a lot of situations. But I can't say that they're leading if men. I mean, it's not just strictly about money, but yes, black men on average make more money than black women. So you put a black woman and a black man together, chances are he makes more money, even though there's a possibility that with the 30% of educated black men that marry out, there is a pool of higher earning black men who are women of other races, which could very well make the remaining pool a little more neutralized, so to the point to where their black men and black women are probably making, equal. But even then, if they're making equal, who leads in that relationship? I think the woman is being disingenuous if she's saying that even in a relationship, she's leading because she has to. Well, that's because, I think it looks a lot like that, what we're showing in this image. That's a woman that got a whole man right there and father of her son, but she still want to sit on that throne. She don't have to sit there. And we can only speculate. I made a mistake in my I said speculate in my pre-recorded video, but it somehow came out as it sounded like I said speculate. Sometimes when you're talking for 3 hours, it should just come out your mouth funny. But so y'all gotta forgive me for that. I'm working on it. But we can only speculate. Yeah, we can only speculate. See, I did it right there. Why is that doing that? We can only speculate. We can only speculate what's going on in their actual house, in their actual relationship. We can speculate on that. We can. I tend to believe there's a possibility, a strong possibility, even that she probably a ball buster. Definitely can speculate on that. It's probably a ball buster. And I would argue, as I'm arguing, that's how a lot of them like it. That's how a lot of them want it to be. They wouldn't have it any other way. We saw with the video on the Black Love video, the one that I showed, that's on the same channel that this thing is on, where the guy who's a lawyer, successful brother, talks about how he acquiesced to his wife. And then put up another video that I did a pre-recorded video on where she talked about how she when she got to speak, she was like, look, I am a Black woman. You got to understand me. You got to understand my hair. You got to understand my hair. You got to understand my attitude. You got to understand all of these things, so and you got to know when if I can't get to my get to the salon and I need this hair out, I got to get to my scalp, I'm gonna need you to get in there. And he was like, oh yeah, he be dealing with her hair entanglements and all of that stuff, and like, you gonna get in there and you gonna help me take my weave out and all of this stuff. And he just was so happy and excited. And yeah, I help her take her weave out. Yeah, I mean, it was just some weird it was just some weird stuff to where, then when they turn around and say, oh, we was forced in this position to lead. Even when you got a lawyer, you still no, you gonna do it. I mean, so no, I ain't buying it. O'Shea Duke Jackson in the building. What's going on? O'Shea coming through with the Poland currency. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson in the building. Where we at? I got thrown off. Debo showed us how to handle a strong Black woman in the... Thanks for that super chat, O'Shea. You see what I'm dealing with over here, O'Shea? See what I'm dealing with? Got these Negroes over here talking about some... Debo showed us how to handle a strong Black woman. Yeah. The bus driver uppercut. The bus driver kind of took his throne, though. Debo was the king of the uppercuts. That bus driver took Debo's throne. Going to jail now. Shout out to Debo. I just found out this morning that Debo is no longer with us. I saw his face in thumbnails and popping up, but I didn't know he died until this morning. I just was scrolling by and just saw it and was like, whoa, look at that. Didn't know. Who'd have thunk it? Didn't know. Only 62. Yes, I'm in a place where I'm saying only 62. You closing in on 40. Somebody start dying in the early 60s. I'm like, whoa, that's a young man. That was a young man. Evie now in the building says at BR, my equality super chat was in reference to Black women saying they're making more money and more educated than Black men. The mistake is educated Black women think she's a catch. Yeah, that was unearthed in the whole Kevin Samuels controversy. Not controversy, viral sensation, I should call it. That was unearthed in there. And you listen to a lot of the women's responses. For them, it just makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. One of the rare women that make $150,000 a year, I'm supposed to expect a $150,000 man. That's what it is. That's where it's at. On my level. Okay. You look like Flavor Flav and Bernie Mac had a baby. I need a man on my level. You're going to get one when your looks level. And then the thing about it is that the type of guy that the only type of guy that wants them for their money is the exact type of guy that they don't want. They don't want a guy leeching off their money. Game Changer said something brilliant on Obsidians. I don't know if that was last night or the night before last. I think it might have been the night before last. The strong, career-driven woman who don't look all that good, but she think that a guy should value her education, value her success, her drive, and all of that, you would think that she would be the perfect counterpart, or that she would view the perfect counterpart as a guy who overlooks beauty in a woman and says, wait a minute, you're successful. That's you work so hard to become successful, got your master's. Now you're successful, you're making $120,000, $150,000 a year. That is beautiful. Everything about you. I want to be with you. Yeah, I work at Popeyes, but hey, I'm loving this, your hard work, your essence, everything about you. You think they'd be good counterparts? I mean, she worked that hard to compensate. A guy shows up who sees value in that, probably because he broke, but either way, you think they would be a perfect match. But no, she don't want that guy. But you would think they'd be a perfect match. No, she wants the guy who did the same, so we can put it together and build together so you could be on my level. Now, okay. The obvious thing that women are starting to wake up to is that, oh, that average or below average looking guy who's a 5, when he started making $150,000, he just bumped up to about a 7.5. So he's balling in a different league than you. They're waking up to that. Now, I have heard an interesting argument. Y'all can let me know what y'all think about this one. When somebody said that, I think the argument was BS, but let's just walk down this path. Somebody said that women were taught, trained, led to believe that you have to be whatever it is that you want. If you want a man that makes $120,000 a year, well, you need to go out and you need to become that yourself. You got to bring to the table exactly what you're asking for. And that's why they that's why they work hard to get their education, so they can get their money, so they can bring to the table what they're asking for. And now that they showing up with what they want, they making $120,000 themselves. They want a $120,000 man, and now they finding out that the $120,000 man don't want them. We were led astray. Now, there's some truth in that. You were lied to, but you can't make it seem like that's what it was all about. Because the quote, somebody, I don't know who, but this quote will be stolen plenty of times in this space, that other women go to college to find a husband. Black women go to college to prove that they don't need one. That's a thing. That's definitely a thing. So I think there's an element of, get your education so you won't have to rely on a man. But the only way that you will be willing to rely on a man is if he makes a certain amount of money, because you've worked hard, you've got your education, you've made a certain amount of money, you've made $135,000 a year. So the only man that you feel proper submitting to is, or even fully giving yourself in a relationship to, is a man who's making X amount of dollars, $150,000. I understand it. Actually, I do understand. Woman does have that natural need to be provided for, is the feeling of protection with a man that can provide. I do understand the feeling, but providing used to mean that man is capable of living and feeding, housing and clothing himself. Okay, he's providing for himself. You get with that man, he's providing. Yeah. Okay, if he's providing for you, okay, what was he providing for himself with? Oh, he's providing for himself off $50,000 a year. Oh, to you, that's not providing, because you made $100,000 a year, and you're used to living in a certain place with a certain lifestyle. So now the term providing has turned into, can you afford me the same lifestyle that I was living while working, making $100,000 a year? Do you make enough money to afford me that same lifestyle without me working? That's what being able to provide means for a lot of them. It's, can you afford a certain lifestyle? Whereas before, a man being able to provide, it was, roof over the head, running water, electricity, food on the table, the basics. Now, hopefully you make some good decisions and you save some money. Hopefully y'all got some good ideas, some good money management, and hopefully y'all can grow beyond that. but that was what providing was. But now is women saying, using the verbiage of, if a man, no, if you're not making X number of dollars, you can't provide. You're not making $100,000, you can't provide. Okay, well, now you just basically said that 90% of white men in the country that y'all would say that they're supreme in can't provide. It's like they don't realize where their arguments go. The argument leads to only 10% of men being viable when they go that route. And that's just silly. That's just silly. We know the data, we know the stats, we talk about the stats all the time. On this show, we talk about the stats. The average white man is making around 50, and the average white woman is making somewhere between 40, 45, something in that area. Then yeah, they got to put their money together to be, comfortably middle class. That's what the average white couple and white family is doing. And they're getting married and they're buying houses and passing down houses. So they got a net worth that completely obliterate ours. We're not even getting together, getting married and buying houses. I mean, if we're going to stay separate, can we just start owning some property? I mean, that's really what all that net worth is tied into. Even in black people, even when you adjust for income, black people in the top 10% compared to white people in the top 10%, their net worth still obliterates ours. So a lot of that comes down to decision making and culture and things that we do. Because even when we got the money, when we got our head on straight, we still not exactly doing the right thing. To debunk the accomplishment/education woman argument that men should want is debunked by Oprah. She has all the money, still a 3 or 4. Yeah, that's reality. That is reality. Well, why couldn't she find a man on her level? Even though the only black men on her level, I mean, technically, it's probably only, how many people make more than, what is Oprah worth? 4 billion, 2 billion? Let's just put it at 3 billion. How many men in America make more than $3 billion? I mean, who's on Oprah's level? Like you can. Sometimes it don't take nothing but 6 figures. If a woman says a man has to make what I make or more, sometimes if she average or below average looking, she could price herself out of the market with $80,000. But I do think there's a such thing as 2 below average looking people, 2 3s that both just got decent jobs and make $80K a year, just getting together and just, yeah, that's beautiful. I'm a softie on that. 2 ugly people that's done well for themselves and get together and make some ugly babies. That's cute. Nothing wrong with that. But we do know there is a certain amount of money that a man can make to where he could get a little better than that 3 out on the market. And then that's where Derek Jackson comes in and argues that somehow okay, well, you're not choosing the woman based off who she is as a person. It's automatically that 3 that he qualified for looks wise, but that 5 that he upgraded to is a bad person. But in another argument, if somebody is choosing that 7 over a 5, now that 5 all of a sudden has the best character in the world. It's like a plate spinning circus show. I really miss my nigga. I'm just playing. Please tell me I know that song. Really miss my nigga. All right. Let me get back on point. Oh, man. Let me make sure that I even like the video. Yeah, say 16,000, my last video that I dropped, but it's when I look at the analytics, it's at it's closing in on 17,000. It just haven't updated. But it is worth pointing out. Derek Jackson's original video got 40,000, mine got 42,000, mine got 17,000. I shouldn't be halfway where he at on that video. I shouldn't. Like, I'm shocked. Quayne Cat. Evie, now you're right. Black women graduates do that I spoke up for black men with the Kevin Samuels show, and the black woman said, "I'm not a millionaire or educated. I dropped the document and bank statement. Shut her up." Interesting. Lagonia Savage. Keep up the good work, Mr. BR. I will certainly try. E. Taylor 704. Why is nobody pointing out that black women turn their nose up to hardworking tradesmen that make 60 to 120K a year? White women are snatching up those white women are snatching up those white men. I think you mean black men. Or if they just snatching up men in general that make that amount. I mean, I think it's nuance to that point that you're making right there, even though, I mean, it's truth in that there are certain type of women who, I mean, it's okay. It's not a blue collar worker or skills tradesman. It's not, I don't buy the argument that he just can't get on, but I think there's a lot of black women who just haven't culturally adjusted to the simple truth that a lot of them want to, when they're educated, they want an educated white collar brother. They feel like that's success. That guy getting up going to work dirty, and yeah, some of them don't view that as success. They need to, check the math on that. Even a blue collar brother, which I was, and didn't have a particular skilled trade, even though it was borderline. But I'm not gonna overrate myself. Even you can still make $60,000 a year. Then, in some cases, more, depending on how much you make an hour, how many hours you work. So, like, yeah. So we talking to 60K a year brother and average black woman, even with the education, I don't think make more than 50,000. That's something I got to look up. Black woman with a degree. What's the average income for a black woman with at least a bachelor's degree? That is a good question I need to know the answer to. So I will look that up. So, yeah. Those are two people that are economically, in the same boat, or the man is probably higher economically. So I do think there's a percentage of women who do feel like that. Let's just say, for example, that woman, let's just say she got it going on and she looked good, and she's making, in that 80, 90,000 range. Yeah, that tradesman can mess with her and probably blow her out the water. Absolutely. But yeah, they view that tradesman. Yeah, some of them view that tradesman as less. Now, if you're just getting into, okay, a blue collar worker who look good, if you're tall or just, just got, some blue collar workers got that blue collar swag, the dirty jeans, cut off t-shirt. No, if you look good and got swag about it, they'll mess with you, but they don't look at you, okay, so we're just talking about hooking up. Because that aesthetic I just described, yeah, that guy can get some ass. Let's make that clear. He can get some ass. But so I mean, then we talking about select, non-select, and all of that. If we start talking about just getting some ass, but as far as women who complain that there's no eligible men, or there's no this, and I'm getting over 30, and my eggs are drying up, and I can't find a man on my level. I don't know why I always pat my head when I talk like. With those that are saying that are turning down and overlooking viable blue collar guys, tradesmen in many cases, yes, they own some goofy stuff right there. They're shooting their opportunities in the foot. Put it like that. They're definitely shooting their opportunities in the foot. E. Taylor 704. Thank you for that super chat. I do appreciate that. And my man Charles Merchant in the building. Her education is her husband. This is why she will toss it in your face, black men. She cannot submit to you and a career husband concurrently. Yeah. As I pointed out, no other woman does that as much. They say like that's something that I've brought to this space that I'm hearing more people say. I didn't hear people pointing that out. that every woman statistically is more educated than the group of their men. Every group of women is more educated than their men, but every group of men makes more money than their women, black men included. So if every group of women are more educated than their men, but every man, black men included, make more money than their woman, why is black women the only ones who are just waving their nuts in their man's face about their education? I see experts, I see relationship experts doing that and making that mistake. And I define relationship expert very loosely. Because the person who I just recently heard do it, I didn't think she was an expert. I think she's a radio talk show host who plays around. I don't say play around. I don't want to diminish what she's doing, but she spends some time on Instagram talking, trying to set people up. I don't know. The show is funny. Her show is the show where that lady called in with a baby on her hip, said, "Yeah, I'm looking for a man or this or that, just in case, just in case what? Well, my husband's in the hospital, and just in case he don't make it, I'm trying to, put myself out there." Y'all remember that chick that called the relationship show looking for a man while her husband was potentially on his deathbed? It was touch and go. They was doing a life-saving operation, but just in case she was trying to, trying to get the lady to because that's kind of what they do on the show. They send people to the gram, to that individual's gram, to try to shoot their shot or whatever. But yeah, she was trying to get her bid put in, or trying to get people to come put their bid in, pending whether or not her husband was gonna die or not. Y'all remember that? Well, the chick that hosts that show is the chick that I was talking about, who threw out there that black women are more educated than men, and also implied that they make more money. But no, that's the chick I'm talking. That's the relationship expert that I'm talking about. Nothing against her. It's an entertaining show. It's a funny show. It's all kind of weird stuff happen on there. One dude called that show. He might have won up the chick that called while her husband was on deathbed. Where one dude called, homeboy was in prison and called that show. And I bet he got some offers. I bet anything the dude in prison got some offers. Well, when do you get out? 2027, but I don't know when he got out, but I can guarantee. Oh, somebody said her name is Kendra G. Okay, cool. Yeah, I honestly didn't know her name. I'm not pulling the Derek Jackson hype, pretending like he didn't know who Kevin Samuels was. I honestly don't know this chick. Didn't know this chick name until now. But there's some funny stuff on there. Some funny stuff do happen on her show. It's not that entertaining to me. I see how some people get something out of it, but sometimes, give it enough time, somebody gonna call through there and do something goofy, and it's just gonna be funny as hell. Yeah, but shout out to Charles Merchant. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Evie now says, I hope her husband divorced her. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think we ever got an update on that. We don't know if he lived or died. We don't know. We don't know if he's alive or not. Little dead air. I had to get some things together. Shannon Wright says, I think she's seeing some of the people responding or countering this post. For those that made it in late, I'm analyzing this image right here of the man off to the side, the woman sitting on the throne. That's what I'm analyzing here. And Shannon Wright says he's protecting the queen, something y'all may not ever know nothing about. Okay, he's protecting the queen because he's a soldier. He's a soldier and not her equal. That's how this image looks. She's the queen. She's on the throne. She has soldiers and or servants to the side of her, protecting her. That's how they look at it. They don't view the man as the king worthy of the throne with the woman to the side of him. And I don't know how they garner or gather protection out of that. He's just standing there to the side of her while she's ruling on the throne. They will do that. Like, I mean, we saw this, keep bringing up Derek Jackson. We saw how he tried to rebrand what the woman said and why she said it. I think they're trying to rebrand what the picture is saying. They wanted to show a picture that symbolized men protecting women, then it was another way to do that. What they're doing is they're breaking the traditional family order that you normally see in family photos when there's one chair. The head of the household sits in the chair. They're trying to rebrand it. And I wonder why. And this is happening on the Black Love channel that I think has the interest of putting black men and black women together. However, they always do it in a way to where they make it to where the man looks neutered, looks weak. And that's more or less what they're selling. I covered the other video where it was ultimately a guy who I, affectionately referred to as a high earning beta male, where I was looking at how he just seemed to be the type of guy that does everything his wife wants. And that's exactly what women want. This guy was a lawyer. He made good money. So if a guy make good money and you could boss him around, like got a high earning beta male, that's just a perfect scenario. Excellent endorsement for marriage for women happening on this channel. But for men, as far as being in a relationship, no, not a good endorsement at all. But if they're interested in bringing black men and black women together, but they shy away from presenting anything that puts the man in a masculine position where he looks like the unquestioned leader or just the leader in general. You don't see masculine leadership on these type of channels. You see things like this. I'm not even going to dig too deep on how they got some LGBTQRS stuff going on this channel, but they did. It kind of goes down. I won't say goes down. Poor choice of words, but it's some stuff on this Black Love channel when you scratch beneath the surface. Most of it is heterosexual couples talking about their relationships and this or that or blah blah blah. But yeah, it's some interesting stuff. But Elohim Rule says, wow, black women haven't been protected so long they can't even tell what it is. Shaking my head. Simps reflect you, not protect you. This dude is killing it. He says black women haven't been protected so long they can't even tell what it is. I reject the premise on that part though about black women not being protected, and I did a video on that. I think it's some bull that black women are not protected and were never protected. I think that's some bull, and I did a good video tearing that down and picking that apart. But I do think it's true that that they don't know what it looks like, and it says simps reflect you, not protect you. I like how you put that there. Shannon Wright says, I can protect a black woman as a king just as much as, oh wait, no. Hunnish Runnish. Okay, I see. Okay, no, he was responding to Shannon Wright. He says, I can protect a black woman as a king just as much as a soldier. Yeah. You see, here's the thing with that. It's a difference with a king protecting the queen versus a soldier protecting the queen. The king is in power and has things set up. And even if we take it, I mean, we understand that the power of a kingdom and how a queen is obviously protected in there. So it's out of order. If those two people are in a relationship, it's completely out of order that he's viewed as a soldier off to the side protecting her. If me and my woman, if we live together in a house that I pay for, that's I mentioned before because I encourage other brothers to do it. buy a home, buy cheap if you can, find a foreclosed house, pay it off early, or if you got the cash to drop on it, that's even more beautiful. But I live in a house that's paid for. I move a woman into this house. She's in a house that's paid for. She's in an environment that's safe. My house is safe for obvious reasons. I ain't no crazy gun nut, but you know, I got a little heat up in here, just a little bit. But just enough. If you're in a house, you're submitted to a man. That's where the protection starts. That's where the feeling of protection starts. In this relatively safe society that we live in, most of the protection is really just that feeling of protection and that feeling of security that you get when you live with a man, when you're under the leadership submitted to a man. That's where the protection comes from. A woman sleeps easy at night knowing that there's a man there. Those little, every house has little weird creaks and noises. The pipes make a little noise. She sleeps like a baby through all those little bumps when she has a man there. And then she knows if something happens, she has that man there. That's more so where that feeling of safety and security is more of in today's world is more of a feeling of safety and security. Now, the man's hardworking brother can make good money. He can get you in a safer environment overall. And that's a definite element of protection. So if we're going to take the whole king, queen concept, yeah, the king, if my house is the castle, then yes, I protect what's in it. And I protect it in many ways with everything that I do. Okay. My son, I told you how I got my son's life planned out. He's a senior in high school. Got his life planned out exactly what he's going to be doing. All of that is an extension of my protection and my leadership, how I got his life set up. Those are the things that come with the territory, but you don't necessarily get that unless you're actually in a relationship where you're submitted to or bare minimum compliant with the man. Okay, what they're talking about is some random reaction. If somebody jump out the bushes on you, will there be a random black man who steps up and gets the guy who jumped out the bushes on me, even though it's very statistically probable that won't happen, that somebody will jump out the bushes on you. I don't think it's up there with getting struck by lightning, but the probability is very low. For the most part, you'll be fine walking to your mailbox or getting in your car and driving to work or wherever you got to go today. So it's really, it really just comes down to just that overall feeling of security that you get when you're compliant or submissive to a man in a relationship. But the queen-king dynamic that they're talking about here in this image is not even a king-queen dynamic. I mean, the guy said just right. I can protect a black woman as a king just as much as a soldier. You know, you can protect her more as a king than what you can as a soldier. But they're looking at, you could tell the fact that they looking at him as not protecting. They don't look at protection as the man in a power position, and that's how and why he protects. They're looking at the man protecting as in literally guarding and doing and being and stepping in and doing something when some shit happened. They look at it as just purely some reactionary type stuff. It's not even protection that they're talking about. They're talking about reaction. So they're clearly talking about something different if she think that protecting is something. If you look at her man as just a soldier who protects, is that somebody who you order to go fight? And that's really how, is that not what their mind says? When something goes down and they call up their goons. They call up Pookie, Ray, Nuck, them. Like that's how they look at this thing. They look at this thing like, I showed the video. In the video where I proved that I believe I proved that black women are not unprotected. Where a black woman walked into, it looked like a DMV, it was a line of like 8 white men in there, and she just cut the line, was on the phone, was being loud. She cut the line, and some guy just casually said while he was on the phone to whoever he was talking to, He just casually said that somebody cut the line, and then she turned around and got in his face and mushed his head, did all kind of stuff. I think she spit on him. Why does she feel so confident to do that? Well, I'll tell you exactly why. Because after the guy who tried to defend himself from her nonsense or whatever, all he did, he got mad, he threw his phone on the ground. He like kind of walked away. She went and got Big Bruno, biggest black motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. He came in there and gave the dude some bus driver uppercuts, just beat his face in, while all the other white men just sitting there scared to move. Like, yeah, y'all got people y'all can call up when things go down. Like no man hands out more street justice than black men. Plenty of men are in prison right now handing out street justice on the behalf of plenty of black women. So the whole no protection thing, I don't buy that. You got the reactionary protection in highly populated by black people areas like Detroit. I live in Michigan. It's a 64% police force in Detroit. It's over 50% in Atlanta, over 50% in Philly. You know, so it's a strong black police force. You got goons on speed dial. You got so yeah, and you can actually act like you got some damn sense and get a man who will protect you. Like it's all there. And even when you look at the stats on domestic violence, abuse, I hate to say the words because of the algorithm, rape, all of that stuff. It's not like black women are all the way up here and everybody else is all the way down there. And although those stats are very similar. So it's like we really spazzing out over viral videos. We're really spazzing out over viral videos. That's what's really going on here. They're mad because they saw a video of some woman, a black woman, getting her head bust, and everybody didn't fly in like Batman or Superman. Batman doesn't fly. Swoop in like Batman or fly in like Superman to protect her. That's what they're making all of this about. Gary Deemer in the building. What's going on? Salute and shout out to you. Big Poke Dog. Big Poke Dog. I don't know why that's funny. Oh yeah, Roastmaster 1. Homeboy did do some time. Dude came in there busting everybody up. Yeah, he did some time. Because it was on video. They caught him red-handed. Man, he beat the hell out of that dude. That dude's face just looked disfigured when he got up. Like they had to scrape him off the floor. They had to scrape him off the damn floor. But yeah, that's the but to me, in my estimation, that's the view they have of protection. They're the queen, they're in charge, they're on the throne, you do what I say. You go attack who I say attack. That's the type of protection that they want. Not behind the man, not under his leadership, but no, they're in control. They could tell you what to do, who to attack, when to attack, right, wrong, or indifferent, just like a king. It's like a king. Kings put many people to the sword who didn't deserve to get put to the sword, just like the white guy in that video I'm talking about didn't deserve to get put to the sword, but he got put to the sword nonetheless. Someone else, Letitia, says, I love this. So powerful that the words are not needed. This picture speaks for itself. Black is bold, beautiful, strong, powerful, love, protective, king and queen. Yeah, okay, I don't know what the hell she's seeing. Protective, king and queen. Okay. She ain't seeing what she's supposed to be seeing there. I don't know. King, queen, and future king, aka known as Prince. All black everything. Love it. Love it. Beautiful. Somebody came through. Mel Goodman came through holding it down. Says, no, man sits in the chair. Never expose your queen. Boom. You hitting it right. The man should be sitting in the chair in the middle. The woman should be to his left. That's your shield hand and your sword in your right hand. Absolutely. I'm going to show the pictures show a picture of somebody getting it right. I'm going to show the picture of somebody getting it right. Never expose your queen. And she's sitting as if she is a male. Absolutely. Got her leg cocked, holding her nuts. If you're already protecting your queen, you don't have to keep reminding people. Help. And males hold their head up and face off. Hold that stance. The little one has it. Okay. All right. So yeah, he did. I did like how I do like, that's why I pointed out that the men are standing kind of strong. The boy, they standing strong. They don't look abused like the other picture I showed where the woman was sitting in the chair. But a lot of people holding it down says the man needs to be in the chair as king. They're getting it right. Somebody just let out a yes. And then Crystal, I don't want to say people's name, but y'all can see it. Well, it's public. I mean, shit, Crystal Davis. He posted it on the YouTube chat room. So hell. Says, so beautiful. Hell yeah. I'm going down this road for a reason. He says the message is dope, but they need a better pose. Maybe one with the fist up. Okay, so he see they need a better pose, but he don't see exactly what's wrong with it. Think y'all saw who was down there. Y'all probably recognize. I agree. They don't look like a group, just 3 individuals. It looks fine to me. Of course, all the women, it looks fine to me. I don't know women see anything wrong with this. They're just fine. A unit. I pray mere comments can't penetrate. Okay. And look what we got in the building. J.I. came through with a comment. Y'all see J.I. down there. That's one thing I like about this when I cover this kind of stuff. I feel, hopefully people that come from my channel and find places like this because of me, because when I did a lot, I'm assuming that when I covered some stuff from this channel before, that what ultimately happened was people went and subscribed, and now they follow, and now they check them out. So now men with their head on straight is responding to the things that's taking place on these type of channels. Hopefully, respectfully. This is not the time to go trolling people or saying ridiculous things. Hopefully, I come through like J.I. and make a sensible comment. Shout out to J.I. who dropped a comment here. He says, y'all don't even see how out of order this is. Shaking my head. The man should be on the throne. Out of order. And this is why we can't advance. Men, do not be sucked into this madness. Shout out to J.I. Came through with the comment. Change the narrative. Society don't see black men on the throne, but it doesn't mean you can't have it, but it's not going to be given to you either. Okay. Okay, let's listen to that one. Change the narrative. Society don't see black men on the throne. Why is she going all the way to society? That's a black man and a black woman in a chair. She chose to sit her ass down instead of standing up and having a man sit on the throne. So, so she wanna reach all the way out there, because at the end of the day, we're criticizing the nature of black relationships on a Black Love channel. So it don't matter what society don't see. But for her to leap there, that's low-key a find the XY coordinates of white supremacy on a map and storm it like the beaches of Normandy. And then when you come back, the proper respect will be given. As if we're not free in this country. That speaks to so many things that's wrong. And over here, I know I probably got some new people in here, but we don't do the racism narrative over here. We don't blame the white man. There's a lack of performance, and we need to roll up our sleeves and perform better. That is what we go with over here. But either way it go, it don't matter what society sees or what society thinks. I resort back to the Hispanic and Latino men that make less money than the average black man. Their women will marry them and submit to a day laborer. Highly sought after Latino women, by the way. So that's a cop-out. That's a cop-out. That's saying, shout out to Kevin Samuels on this one. That's saying in order for you to do what makes sense in a relationship, yeah, he asked the question, what will it take for you to submit to a black man's authority? But the caveat he throws in there is the caveat that I've been throwing in there, but I never worded it this way. Oh, and it has to be something that only one man can do. Because if you put it, that's beautifully worded, because it puts them in a position where they can't make the build Wakanda, change the whole narrative of how society views the black male collective arguments. They can't put their ability to act right in an interpersonal relationship out in collective land somewhere. No, it's you, an individual in a relationship with another individual on the ground. How do you conduct yourself? They don't want to put it right there, because then the arms are easier to measure, because they can't circle back to, well, this ain't y'all country, even though I disagree with that one. The black men, we helped build this country, or we fought in every war for this country. We citizens of this country, work in this country, pay taxes to this country, and just like every other white, just like the white man that stay next door to me, I got one vote just like him. And what do he got that I don't got? I actually got more than what he got. He came to my house. He asked to borrow something. I ain't gonna say too many details in that. But yeah, no. A white man today got to roll up his sleeves and make his own claim in this world. A black man do too. He don't get to live off the fact that the founding fathers happen to have. I mean, I won't say happen to have. The founding fathers had white skin. He don't get to live off that. His woman got to judge him on the merits of who he is and what he is. And as I always say, the average white man make $50K in this damn country. Average black man, median income, 40K. I think 41. Hispanic Latino man is less than 40. And each of those individual men need to be judged on their merits, not rather not their group has collectively done built Wakanda. We're talking about interpersonal relationships and families. It starts at home. Now, all the other things are great. Yes, being more politically organized, that's great. That has to be done. Yes, absolutely. More black businesses. Yes, that has to be done. But the individual woman, Andrea Smith, who I'm assuming is just an average woman, who will end up with the average man. So even if black men owned all the corner stores and all the businesses in the black community and many businesses beyond, and we own 13% of the wealth in this country, even if all of that was the case, this is a capitalist country, so that wealth will be in the hands of a very small percentage of black men. Everybody else would still be people in the 99% movement, would still be people in the 90% fighting over 10% of the wealth in this country, because the top 10%ers own 90% of the wealth in this country. So you would still be one of the people at the bottom or in the middle. Instead of the average black man making 40K, he'd probably be making 50K. Instead of the average black woman making 35K, she'd be making 45K. We'll all get a 10K raise and still be in the same exact situation. So if you're a combative, out of pocket, don't know how to act, bitchy woman right now, who making every excuse to not get on board with the black man right now, you can still make that same excuse then. If you're out of pocket now, you'll be out of pocket then. Because if you're in a relationship with an assembly line worker now, you're being in a relationship with an assembly line worker then. Even if we built Wakanda, it would still need assembly line workers, and that's what the hell your average ass qualify for. So those societal arguments, in order for a woman to act right in a relationship, and they are BS arguments. I will say that to I'm blue in the face. Andreas J.I. goes on to say, y'all can cling to whatever delusion you choose, but your outcomes speak volumes to the choices you've made as women. When women see this imagery and uplift it, there you go. He talking about change society. He talking about change society. You know, it's kind of weird when they say we were forced in this position of leadership. We're forced to be on this so-called throne, but no, y'all uplifting and praising it. So don't make it seem like you're forced to do something when you're uplifting and praising and doing cartwheels and backflips and patting your weave and high-fiving over it. Don't do that. I'm glad he caught that and uplifted. They feed the beast that preys upon them. I'm not going to have an issue under my roof. Shout out to you on that one with this foolishness, but the community as a whole is garbage, and this type of imagery is promoting it is why. Very well said, J.I. Very well said. Their story. Can you dig it? And that's the picture that we analyzing off the Black Love channel here on YouTube. That is what we were analyzing, what we are analyzing. But now I'm about to get into another two things I'm going to show real quick. Two things I'm going to show real quick. When I don't be big on the camera, I'll be all slouched down like this and try to get up. Sit up straight like I got some sense, like I'm a well-distinguished Negro. Okay. All right. Here we go. Oh shoot, I got a problem. Hold on. Get rid of that. Not that. Well, yeah, that. Get rid of that. Now we talking. I'm not going to spend that much time on this because I already went over this. Already went over this, so I won't spend too much time on it. And that's not what I meant to show you. So bear with me. That's not what I meant to show you. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right. I already did content on this. This was on my community page. 174 people liked it, 57 comments. Or ask the simple question, what do you see here? Well, that's what it says on the screen. What do you see? Compare and contrast. Just going to briefly show the difference in how a family looked then, how it's supposed to look, the family. I mean, you can see it right there. Family behind the man, the woman to the left of the man, which is the shield hand, sword in the other hand. That's the king protecting from the center. That's how it's supposed to look on the family photo. This is a more modern family photo where she's sitting in the Huey P. Newton chair, the man behind her, off to her left, son unprotected. All bad. Just wanted to point that out. Game Changer always point out how his hands are crossed like that, and that just looked weird. And he also pointed out, because he was on the show when I was analyzing this, how Sister Girl got the young lady, young girl got her hand on the hip, got the legs in the little cross bent angle. I don't know if that's something going on right there. It's just that okay, but yeah, she's standing kind of grown. The boy just look I don't know. But they even tried to, they was in the comment section on Instagram when I found the clip to the right. They was on there, yes to all of that and everything. And then when a few brave men criticized the imagery, they like, no, he's standing protecting. They're standing for his family to protect his family. No. No. Don't try to spin move it. Y'all like the queen on the throne, but y'all then turn around and say, well, we didn't ask for this position of leadership. We didn't ask, but I mean, I disagree. I don't got a position of leadership. I mean, being wayward and going astray don't necessarily make you a leader. I mean, there's that. Now, how are we gonna do this here? Because there's another picture that unfortunately got to get covered. I may open it up for this one because I don't even know what to say on this one. And where am I going to find this picture? I'll find it right here. This is where it's at. It's coming up. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Got 171 like and 194 on the likes. I think that's because the video was posted and sat there for so long and so many people hit the like before we even got all the way started here, which is cool, I can dig it. All right, let's see. Let me see if I can get this to act right. Bear with me. Here we come. Application windows. All right. Now, we talked about how wrong and out of order this picture is, and the other picture where the woman was sitting down. But apparently, damn it, I want that picture by itself so it could really blow up and y'all could really see it. Apparently, the LGBTQRS know how to get it right, though. They got hold on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, they know how to have a man sitting in the chair. They know how to get it right. Yeah, I'm about to open it up. See, I'm gonna need some help with this one. Because look, I don't get up here and make anti-gay rhetoric. I'm just pointing out that the let's be friends know how to understand that the king in that relationship should be sitting in the throne for the family photo. She's pregnant and all. She's standing up, and there's another photo. If I pull up the gram page of it, there's a photo where the woman, where the pregnant woman is sitting down, but she's sitting down on the lap of the using air quotes here again, the man in the relationship. There's a photo where the woman is sitting down on the lap of the man. Butch, as someone just said in the chat. So a butch can be king, but not a black man. But I guarantee if you put this same photo here, where is that? Where is it? Yeah. You put this same photo here on that Black Love channel, I guarantee those same women will be saying, well, why ain't the queen sitting down and the king standing up or the soldier standing up protecting her? They wouldn't say all that bullshit. Somebody said, Rosemaster once said, where those kids come from? Hey, it can happen. That was really all the debate in the chat room about whether or not kids can come out of that situation. And he was explaining how, I guess, through some modern scientific medical miracle somehow, I think somebody said I didn't even look it up because I didn't care. Somebody said you don't need semen. That's what was being argued. Now, if they were just saying you don't need an actual living, breathing man to be in the room, you can go, siphon the material from somewhere, come hell or high water. Okay, yeah, sure. That's very possible. That's how it works. We get that. We understand that. But either way, without further ado, we have a guest on the panel, a contestant here on The Price is Right. So go ahead, Black Curls, you got it. What's going on?
What's up, Bernard? So, I'm not sure if you actually addressed this point because I was
I
actually.
can't hear you.
You can
hear you.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, now I can hear you. What's up? What's going on?
Okay, so yeah, I was enjoying the stream so far. So great stream, Bernard. But I think from what I've heard, you missed the point about this whole king and queen dynamic.
Okay.
So yeah, I said this on Game Changers stream earlier. So with a king, you do not require a woman to be a king.
Oh yeah.
A king could build his own kingdom and make himself a king. A queen requires a king. So you cannot be a queen if you don't have a king. And in this case, they're trying to be queens without kings. As you can see, the man is the soldier, not a king at all.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. I accept it on faith that okay, that's her man. But yeah, she wants him more as a like soldier or work mule, so to speak. I guess I don't know. But it is a weird dynamic. How what's more interesting to me is that how they don't understand king queen dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
The queen, the queen, the king is not a subject of the queen. The queen is treated like a queen by her subjects. The king is the only one who don't even have to treat the queen like a queen. So you're a queen. You don't have subjects. The only person who's required to treat you like a queen in your modern queen scenario is the person who you call a king, who you are technically the subject of. But no, they want to sit on the throne with their leg cocked, grabbing their nuts while saying, "We were forced into this position. It's so tiring and stressful."
Yep, it's the position they want.
That's what's definitely going on there. You got some slight background noise, so you can do something with that if you want to. The link is in the chat. Anybody else can definitely come on up and give your thoughts and commentary on this. But while I got you here, Black Curls, what do you think about the picture to the right? Now that's one, look, I don't go in on the LGBTQ RS community, even though I do add letters to their name, but I don't go in on that. I'm okay with them being able to get married. It's whatever on that. So I don't just rave against that situation.
Okay, answer.
Just pointing out how they got it right over there, but on the Black Love channel, they care about black men and black women getting together, got it wrong when it came to showing a family photo. But either way, but overall, just what's your thoughts on the picture to the right?
Well, you already partially answered it when you said they finally understand the dynamic when it's a lesbian. They're like, okay, this one is obviously the more masculine person, so she's gonna get the throne. But the man, by default, is more masculine, so they don't want to give us the throne for some reason.
Yeah, that's a wild one. That's a wild one. What do you think about? Because a lot of people go too far, and I won't say they go too far. They talk about how black men are being feminized and whatnot, and I think it's true, but at the same time, when you pay attention and keep your eyes open, you see it all the time. Where you see gay white men on TV, they dresses too. Candace Owens just had a blow up on that. I mean, it's really the whole society that they're just trying to. I don't think they can turn people gay, but I do think that they're trying to push acceptance of it in the culture, and through doing that, yeah, it's like a over promoting of it, and I think it's across the board with black, white, everywhere. Everybody's doing it. Anybody on the left is hardcore doing that.
Yep. One thing I'll say with this whole black effeminate image is that it is happening to all men, like you just said, but black women just have this thing like when there's an issue, they love singling out black men when they mention men. And plus, when it comes to raising black men, that's partially on them because anytime they receive any type of pushback from a masculine figure, it's considered disrespect or abuse. So these boys have to be docile and effeminate around them.
Yeah, it's a weird thing where let them tell it. Yeah, they want strong men, and yeah, they want men to be strong. They want men to be leaders, but they do want to censor and silence any man who steps up and any black man who steps up and does any type of anything that reflects leadership if it's not in their favor. So they really, and I experienced that in my marriage. I try not to. Well, I'll talk about it because there's teachable information in there. But my goal is not to just completely take a crap on my ex-wife.
Oh,
but
yeah,
however,
definitely.
in my experience is yes, they want you to lead, but they want you to lead exactly in the way that they would lead had they been leading. That way they can get exactly what they want, but not take none of the burden. If things go awry, if it flies off the rails, it's your fault. You're the man. You was leading. You was making the decisions. But I made every decision that you would have made had you been leading, and I did that because you was in my ear talking shit the whole time. So I was being weak. I was being weak by letting you top it from the bottom. So that was my fault. I was being weak, no doubt about that. But either way it goes, that's more or less what they want. They want you to lead, but in the exact direction that they would lead had they led. If you go astray from what they would want to do, they're gonna raise hell. That's typically what happens and how it happens. But we got somebody else on the panel, and I'm struggling to see your name. Let me see. I'll blow it up. Oh, Shane Go the Eternal. I couldn't even tell who this was. So what's up? What's going on? What's the salute to you? Welcome to the show. What you got?
You good, bro? Peace. You get my Cash App, right?
Yo, what?
You get my Cash App. I'm just trying to see if it works, but.
Yeah, go ahead and respond on what's going on, and I'll check that right now. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I normally got my phone on me where I get the alerts. I left my phone upstairs, so I didn't see that. I probably have received a lot of Cash Apps for all I know. So just thank you, shout out and salute to anybody who sent a Cash App. I'm checking my email right now. They normally send them to my email. And so Roastmaster 1 in the building with the Cash App says great content, bro. Shout out to Roastmaster 1 and also Shane Go. Let me see. Hold on. I want to see what you said there. This is why black men are leaving BWs. Right on. See. Thank you for the Cash App. Appreciate that. Go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Yeah, no problem. To speak to this picture, bro, this is some disgusting issue right here, man. First off, like you guys just elucidated on, you got the queen sitting in the middle, which is a poorly defensible position. Then you got a lesbian acting as a man. So it's like, BWs, man, what do y'all really want? Good lives? Do you really want good men? The answer is no. You just want control, like you just said, top it from the bottom, power bottom. You feel me? Like, what the fuck is? I don't understand the way these women think, and I'm done with trying to rationalize what they're doing and shit. So I just move on, man. That's what most brothers need to do. You find a woman that works with you, man, because these chicks don't know what they want. They don't know what they're doing, or they have this double-mindedness. So they say, "Oh, we want protection, but we also want a wife." It's like it's this weird dichotomy. So it's better to stay away from this stuff. And what you just shown proves it. That's all I got to say.
Shingo, a good man to them is a new guy that they can use to fully and drain him of his resources. So basically, good man is a sucker.
Yeah.
Hey, so somebody said this before, and I'd never thought about it, but in my experience, I guess it's kind of true, just from what I've observed and people that I know. Those butches, the person here, they said those be like the biggest simps on earth. I thought about that when black girls just said they just want somebody they can drain of their resources. What do y'all think about that? Have y'all ever observed that those butchers, they swoop in, they take them baby mamas, they taking on them baby mamas, taking care of the kids. They trying to pay all the bills. They trying to.
You
They
see
tryna
him at
be-
Walmart, bro,
Yeah.
walking with dirty, fat strags, bro. Like got 10 kids. You got a dyke walking around like she doing something. It's like, bro, what is you goofy as hell? Like you paying for this chick, she sucking another nigga's dick. Because I know for a fact that the chicks that be messing with these dykes don't just mess with the dykes. They mess with dudes because they want some real dick. You feel me? Because I done been in the situation on both sides where I fucked the dyke and I fucked the chick, the baby mama. So I know for a fact.
Hold on,
wait,
time out.
Go ahead.
We can, okay. When you said you smashed the let's try to go easy on the cuss words too. Even though I've cussed.
My bad.
I don't run a 100% clean show. But I find out that they'll play ads on my stuff long as I just keep it to a minimum. So there's that. But yeah, let's just try to keep it to a minimum. But you were saying that you oh no, you good. I'm gonna slip up a bunch of times. But so you said so it was the baby mama and her lesbian lover, and you said you hooked up with both of them. Was that separately?
Yeah, separately. I've heard brothers do it, cooperatively, like a menage a trois, but what I did was separate.
Okay, now I gotta ask and keep it real. Don't front. Was the lesbian was she kind of butchish? Was she kind of like, is she looking something like this right here? Keep it real. Did she look like she had a nice fadeaway? Like if y'all got on the court, look like she cross you up.
Come on. What's funny is she did hoop though. That's the funny part.
I know she did.
She was a hooper, so it's got that energy. But I don't know. I guess I attract tomboys or some stuff, But that's always been my experience. Like dykes find me attractive. I don't know why. I'll be sitting in front of like schools. They be coming at me like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "What's up, bro?" And they, I kind of look at them like in a weird place, like you a female, but you're not. So it's like, some of them be thick though. I ain't gonna cap. I can't even cap. I can't cap.
Now
I cannot cap.
I've heard that's a thing where some dudes, for whatever reason, they attracted to kind of like tomboyish type chicks. I've heard that was a thing. Now, the only time I heard a guy say it where it made sense to me and I understood it, it was like around the time this was like back in the day. I don't know if this was like when, I shouldn't say back in the day, but it was around the time when Love and Basketball came out. Yep. And like and like I understand that it's something sexy about that image, Sanaa Lathan when she, I think she had on like the little, it was not a sports bra, but how I think it might have been a sports bra, the little tight tank top that just squeezed the titties up with some basketball shorts, and she sit with her belly out, and she's sitting there. I was like, okay, she do look sexy, but some dudes actually like that. I don't like it. I was just saying she looked sexy. She looked like a sexy hooper. That was the only way I could like look at it and say, okay, that's a tomboy that could get it. But some dudes, I think that's a thing where that little tomboy type chick is something that they attracted to. That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird.
To each his own, bro. At least it's not a dude. You feel me? So it looked kind of like a dude, but it's not a dude. At least it's not one of the Transformers, But
well, I mean, but don't you be like, man, it's a 50-50 chance where every time you get ready to drop them panties, you don't know.
Bro, that's why I stopped doing that, bro. That's why I stopped. I stopped accepting offers because I'm like, there's some gender fluid people out here. I'm not, there's some Lando Calrissians out here. I'm not rocking with it.
Yeah, you playing with fire. I mean, I've heard a couple dudes say that they like them hooper chicks. The only type of female athlete that I really find like the tall volleyball playing chicks. Like I remember, it was during the Olympics. I was watching that 6-on-6 Brazilian versus Swedish volleyball game. I don't know what the score was, but I know the Brazilian women was definitely winning out there. Like that Brazilian volleyball team was looking good. I can look at them volleyball chicks out there, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all other the softball chicks, I'm like, nah,
Yeah, there's a line that like you can cross that I don't go there. Some dudes go there, but I don't go there. Like I like an athletic chick with a thumper, you feel me? So I like to look at, slim, thick type chicks, and I like to rock with them. But sometimes they come in a type of sports or a gamer package, you feel me? Like they kind of stray into men areas a little bit. I like that. I like a chick that kind of flirt with it, you feel me? Not that go full whole cloth. Hey,
oh,
bro,
say that
what's up?
last part again. What'd you say? You like
Yeah, I like them like straddling that line. If they, if they're a tomboy, I like them kind of ambiguous. But I don't like the ones that go all the way to the left, like, hey, bro, what's up? Let me make you some pancakes, bro. I'm like, no, no, I gotta leave. I'm out. Nah, I can't do that.
Yeah, man, you be smashing them. You better quit smashing them chicks that be letting out them that Serena Williams grunt after you hit it. You sitting there hitting it, she letting out them Serena Williams tennis grunts, and you better leave them alone. Yeah, yeah. You better leave them alone, bro.
Oh boy, y'all crazy, bro. I gotta mute up now.
Counselor Murray in the building with the super chat. Shout out to Counselor Murray. I hope I didn't miss nobody else super chat. He didn't came through here to say some stuff, man. I don't know. I mean, listen. You're into what you're into. Tomboy. I do know some perfectly straight tomboys, but they I mean, at least I think they perfectly straight. They ain't never turned me on. The only time I ever, saw it as a thing, Sanaa Lathan, in Love and Basketball, did a little something for me. That's about it. And then them volleyball chicks. Them volleyball chicks, yeah. I like them tall, maybe tall, having them big legs, but still that little small upper body. Yeah, them volleyball girls, volleyball girls do it for me, but yeah. Other than that, them tomboys can go on somewhere. But
no, like I said, yeah, they the ones you just talking about, bro, and that's different from the chick in the picture. The chick in the picture is a straight stud wench. You feel me? Like, no, like hell no. I would never ever put myself anywhere near that woman or the one she's with, because she compromised in my eyes. You feel me? So there's a difference to me.
The American Negro says, I really appreciate volleyball women. Oh yeah, them volleyballers. Them volleyballers get it. I likes them. But hey, that got me all thrown off. That was that was a good little detour. That was a good little detour. No, you cool. Damn, what was I Shango? You want to add something, like your thoughts on the whole I know me and Black Curls already touched on it, but your thoughts on just the overall king queen dynamic and how that's something that get overly talked about in the Black community. We talk about that way too much, and it's an overused concept. It came from we was kings and queens in Africa. I understand it's turned into just a term of endearment and all of that. But what's your thoughts on how just wrong they get it when they talking about the concept of a queen, and how they essentially view the Black man as one of the servants in her queendom? Like, speak on that.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Either it's that, or they view the Black man as the queen and they're the king.
Oh no, nah, that's
all man. As kings at all.
I think servants are subjects. I don't know about that. That's an interesting spin on it.
I'll tell you why. Because you see some of these chicks on Twitter, some of these chicks on Facebook, IG, talking about they want a submissive man. You feel me? They want all these other things, and that's traditionally what a queen would be, because they want that submissive shit. It's submissive-ish, but they want it in a royal style. That, like you said, that king and queen sauce. You feel me? So
Mm.
what they're really saying is they want the roles to be switched, but they want the man to still be the sword arm, like you said, that servant. So it's kind of like a CompuServe, as Dr. Keason Johnson talks about. You feel me? So
Yeah.
it's real odd, and this is a dangerous pathology to have, because if you go into the world thinking that you as woman, you know, hear me roar until it's up to that point where you need to call in the man, he's going to be ineffective and useless. You cannot maximize, a man's effectiveness if he is stuck in one mode, and it's limiting his masculinity. It's limiting the way that he can move and compete with other men. Blade sharpens another blade, you feel me? So if he cannot activate his masculinity and act in it, how are you going to expect him to do certain things? You feel me? Like, they want their cake and they want to eat it too. It don't work. Put it simply.
Right. Yeah, you got some kind of background noise. I don't know. It's like something that's like scraping when you talking. I don't know what that is, but if you could.
Oh, it's probably my jacket. I'm in a cold place. Chicago's pretty cold.
Are you in
Yeah, let me
Chi-Town?
switch to Let me switch to my studio equipment actually.
Okay,
I'm gonna
cool.
leave it a bit.
All right. Rosemaster 1 in the building says, Bernard, you just can't handle a strong black stud. You are absolutely right. That is,
I'm not handling any woman.
I concur with that one. And we got Nuruddin, who dropped a super chat and just hopped on the panels. I'm gonna pass it to him next after I read a super chat. Thanks for the super chat, Nuruddin. Appreciate it. He says, well, since the Queen wants the protection and not, well, wait, hold on. If Queen wants the protection and not my protection, I put her to the Nurse Federal Building and tell her to get her protection from there.
Actually, I meant I point her to the nearest federal building so that she can get her protection. The nearest. I speak into the it has the Google has like the little microphone, so sometimes it mixes up the voice. But yeah,
Right.
but yeah, since they want, since the Queens want, that protection and all this other crazy stuff without a black man, I'm like, okay, no problem. You know what I do? I point them to 26 Federal Plaza and say, go in there and get your protection. I love that shit. And then they be quiet. And then they turn stone quiet. So yeah, in this picture, they want to have all of the protections without paying the cost. I'm like, well, listen, like I see the Quine in the chair.
Which one? Which one?
The one with all black. She'll be. You know what? If I were that guy, I would point her to the nearest. I would point her to 26 Federal Plaza in New York City and tell her to go in there. There's your protection.
Well, that guy. Well, see that's a mute up, Nuruddin. You got background noise. All right. That's a different situation than that, because you see they're actually in a relationship. I assume that's a family photo, but that's just showing even in the family dynamic, he's still off to the side in a weaker position. So it's one thing for can you back up, Nuruddin. It's one thing for a woman to be saying protection, but really talking about reaction, some just in case some random stuff happen. I want you to spring into action. Random guy I don't know. But then it's another situation where you're in a relationship with a man. I'm assuming they're essentially a family, and that's their son. That, yeah, she wants to rule, she wants to be the queen in the throne, but he still has to he's still the spring into action guy. It's almost like she's a queen, she's ruling, she's in control. She has a servant / soldier on her team. That's what that one is reflecting. So really, he don't need to send her to the federal building. He need to say, "Get your ass up out my chair," and that's what he need to do. So,
well, what about the one on the right where you got a pregnant woman and another woman that's in another throne, and then a girl, and then a little girl? What's that all about?
Well, they clearly got it right over there. I mean, they
nailed it.
See, those women need to go to the federal building. Those women, since they want to be high, mighty, and queenly, and have soldiers on standby, I point them to the federal building.
Yeah, well, that's what. That's where they're going anyway. I mean, it's a weird situation where like I said, even though it don't seem like it, we do live in a relatively safe society. It's unlikely, you know, people we don't get attacked by bears. People ain't just jumping out the bushes on us. Yes, there's a lot of you know, Negroes out there, you know, still doing drive-bys and still shooting and all of that stuff. You know, we got somebody on the panel from Chicago. He know a little bit about all that, but that's still going on and going down. But chances are they safe. But in the event that some stuff do go down, those studs and the woman who's laying up with the stud, I'm quite sure they get harsh reminders all the time that, oh damn, this is actually, oh, mute up. I'm sure they get harsh reminders all the time that that's a woman when some stuff go down, and then she got to use her woman strength to fend off a situation. I'm sure they get harsh reminders. It don't happen that much, but I'm sure it does sometimes. Mm-hmm. But go ahead.
Bernard, give me a second. I'm going to restart my line real quick.
Yeah, go do that, because your background is pretty bad. Black Curls or Shango, either one of y'all can take it.
Yeah, you go ahead, bro.
All right, because with the lesbian relationship, just remember the DV rates are higher. I hope Shango ain't pissing, you know, these butch women off to go after their partners here.
What'd you say? What rates are higher?
The DV.
DV?
Domestic violence.
Oh,
yeah, I didn't want to.
Yeah. Oh no, I think we can say that. But no, that is a thing. That is a thing that I gotta look that up. I gotta write down everything I need to look up, because I do want to make sure I get stats right. Is it true that domestic violence rates are higher in a relationship with two black women than what it is with a black man and a black woman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh man. So that speaks volumes to the notion that they can't really charge us up with being violent towards them when they, because there's data out there to show that women throw the first punch, that it's a lot of times is mutual combat and all of that. But when you take the man out the equation, put two black women in the equation together, you get the statistically most violent relationship of all relationships.
Another thing, Bernard. So as much as they like to say we're the most violent men, we already know that's based on socioeconomic status. So when you put men in the same socioeconomic status, we're consistent across the board. But with black women, they're significantly more violent at 5 to 10 times higher than every other race of women, regardless of status.
Shout out to Grown Man Business in the building. He says, what a waste of a woman being a bull dagger. That's in the said.
Hey, Bernard.
Go ahead, Fatal Dose. You got it, bro.
Yeah, I've heard everything, right? But the one thing I haven't heard is that black men has to take some responsibility for this effery that's going on. Because if we didn't allow it to happen, it wouldn't be happening.
That's true. That's true. That's why I pointed out that man is in that relationship essentially choosing to submit. That's
right.
Yeah.
Right. So we got to stop giving brothers a pass when brothers are part of the reason for the situation we find ourselves in. Because too often we get on the panels and we start talking about how these sisters are messed up, and well, if the brothers weren't if they had some I don't want to curse around, but if they had some poon control, where they were just willing to grovel for just a taste of it, and had some grapefruits between their legs, we wouldn't be in this situation. Brothers need to stop acting like the end goal to everything is hitting that poon.
They need more discipline.
And I think that's what I'm sorry.
They need more discipline too.
Yeah, they need discipline, and this is why this is going on, because I've seen some hardcore brothers, man, that allow this stuff to happen in their personal life. They're alphas on the outside and total simps on the inside. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And let me tell you a story about when I was 16 years old. I lived out in Brooklyn, and this badass Jamaican woman moved into the building, lived down the hall from me, right? And I'd try to say hello to her, and she'd roll her eyes at me. And then, she had this drug dealer, man. And one day I step out the apartment, and he's on the corner tooling her up. And she's looking at me, help me.
yo, I returned the favor. I didn't talk to her, just like she doesn't talk to me when I try to talk to her. You know what I mean? Not
You know
because
what
I was.
you know what I would've did?
Go ahead.
I
Wait,
would've
hold on.
told
Let Fatal,
Down
wait.
Nine-
Nerding, I'll let Fatal Dose finish his point. Go ahead.
Yeah, not
Fatal.
because
Sorry
I
about
was scared to intervene. Because at first that was my first instinct. Yo, she need help. But then
Yeah.
as I stepped forward, I thought about it. Like, I was like, yo, now I'm gonna get into beef with dude right there when she wouldn't even say hello to me. I
I've
turned
said-
around and walked away.
Yeah, no,
And
I've
she'll go
said
right back.
before when they talk about not being protected, the main thing that they need protection from is the guy who's Johnson they keep putting in their mouth. That's really that's what a lot of that protection come down to. Like people, y'all not stepping outside being attacked by bears. Like no, you if you're messing with certain types of dudes, and granted, they're not going to bat 1,000. Sometimes you will run into that guy. Everything seems cool once the relationship get going, and then all of a sudden he just give you a bus driver uppercut for no reason. Mute up, everybody. That happens. I understand that. No, whoa, hold on. That happens, and I understand that. But for the most part, a lot of these women, they do have a stated preference for the dysfunction. And when they get with the dysfunctional dude, and he get them some dysfunctional uppercuts and body blows, and then like that's what they need protection from. Most of the things, the violence and things that come at them, that come their way, when you look at the stats, is mostly with the person that they're with, that they're dealing with. Like,
and they go right back to him after she gets said protection.
Yeah, and well, you mean reaction. They just want people to react when they get entangled up with the person who they keep choosing to be with. There's plenty of black men who don't carry themselves with that kind of temperament. Now, granted, like I already pointed out, they're not going to bat 1,000. That sometimes the guy could have a cool, calm demeanor, temperament, and not carry any stereotypes, but still end up doing that. But I tend to believe that women, they know who's who. They know who's who. There's a I don't know if y'all like I on Instagram sometimes they'll show some of the little TikTok memes or viral challenges. Y'all know how something will pop up, like it'll be two words on the screen in a group of women, and they got to walk to one side if they would, prefer,
no, it's
but if they prefer 9-to-5 guy or street dude or love or money, they'll put something up. It said toxic or nice guy. Most of them ran over to the toxic guy when it said love or money. Most of them, actually, the majority of them went over to love. But when you put those two things together, oh, okay, so y'all want love from a toxic guy, so that's where I'm at on a lot of the abuse and violence that they face.
Have a point on your protection part.
Go ahead. And
yeah, with protection, there's that suffix in protection, pro, and you know what other word has the pro suffix? Proactive. Protection is proactive, not reactive.
Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's why I said women who feel safe and protected are normally women who are in committed relationships. So all a woman got to do if she want to feel safe and protected is find a guy. There's plenty of guys out there who be happy to, no matter where you're at as a woman, there's a guy out there who'll be happy to get regular sex from you. I don't care, no matter how we explain it, no matter how we dice it up. For every woman, there's a guy out there who will be like, man, I can just get. There's a guy out there not getting a whole lot of sex who'll be happy to just get regular sex from a woman, especially provided that she act like she got some damn sense. You want protection? Throw yourself on the mercy of that guy. Get in full compliance with that guy. Give him regular sex and lay in his bed every night. You'll feel nice and safe. There it is. I mean,
Bernard.
It's a simple formula for a woman to feel safe and protected. Go ahead, Nardine. You got it.
Hey, Bernard. Hey, Fatal Dose. In the end of that, are you there? Is Fatal Dose still there?
Yeah, I think Fatal Dose.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hey, and when that woman was getting her ass beat by the local drug dealer, and she was asking for your help, you should have said, hey, the priest is right up the corner. The priest is down. What I would have gave? What I would have did? I would have been like, you're nicer than I am, because I would have told her, hey, yo, dial 911 and see how that works out for you. Because the reason why I say that is because they love dealing with these dudes that ain't, you know, that Juju and Jigaboo ain't worth the paper he's putting on, and yet they're willing to have kids with them. They're willing to have babies by them, and I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, you know that Lil Boosie ain't worth the paper he's putting on, and you having a kid by this man, or you doing some crazy stuff with this guy, and then when the night guys are saying, hey, listen, I don't think you should be doing with that dude. You know, they tell you to go F yourself. So I'd have been like, yo, go dial 911. You know what? Because me and you, we do live in the same state. We live in New York City, right? I would have told take ass to 26 Federal Plaza and see how it works out for you. That's my approach now. That's my approach now. I figure, okay, you know what? Since you want to deal with that dude, so when shit goes wrong with you, point him to Federal Plaza or point him to the nearest police station. That's what I do. I don't intervene because you know what? That guy could turn on you, or guess what? They could both team up on you and they could both turn on you. So I'm like, nah. They want to go out there and find and feel the danger zone. Hey, they got it. It's just like when I ride my motorcycle. I know the good times, and I also got into a motorcycle accident. At least with that, I made peace with it. A lot of these chicks, they want to have, you know, the danger zone on this side and no consequences on the other. And now you know what's happening now? Reality and the danger zone reality is catching up to them. Those consequences are catching up to them. And I say to them, hey, you had it safe, but now I can't help you. But next time when you see her, tell her to go to 26 Federal Plaza. She knows where that is.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna be seeing her anymore because I was a teenager, bro. But and I don't live in New York anymore, so I ain't gonna be seeing her. But you know, the thing about it is, I've seen growing up, I saw so many dudes that were just tooling them up, and those were the dudes that were flocked to. I knew women who knew that the dude was a habitual wife beater. And when their wife
they still went back to
they
him.
would the wife would leave, and then the next woman who already knew everything that was going on would go to him, as if something different would have happened. And then she comes back complaining, "Yo, he's hitting me." And it's like, what the hell do you think would happen?
Tell them to flock to the 63rd Police Precinct for that protection. Because I am not protecting these. I'm not doing. I'm sorry. I'm not putting unless. The only time I would ever do that if it's my girlfriend, my wife, or my daughter. After that, and you know, just like what happened with my ex-wife, she left for this dude. It ain't shit. Now she's $250,000 in debt. She got 2 twin girls, and she's living. You know, she does make money. She works for Disney and all, but how long is that gonna last with all the debt you're accumulating?
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets mad with me when she sees the avatar that actually Fatal Dose. That's me in those pictures. That's me in you know where the white chick is hugged up on me and everything like that. You know she got mad with me when she saw that on my Facebook page. She gets hot now. And she said I could have been in those pictures. I'm like, well, yeah, you could have. If you didn't pick that fucking loser and treat me like crap, yeah, you could have been there. But hey, you know, there's always something. There's always that possibility.
All right, Keenan Smith says something interesting. He says, y'all should go to Dennis Sperling's page and watch the conversation he had about this. There is no legal protection for physically protecting a woman. That is interesting. That's something that I've never thought about. I might do a show on that myself. Because I've always said that most men, just like when Fatal Dose said his natural instinct was to go over and help. Most men, if something happens, your instinct to react is going to kick in, no matter what it is. I mean, it could be something simple. I remember this was back when I was married. I was at my mother-in-law's house. It was a big giant vase that I don't know why she had that big giant vase that could fall over and kill somebody. And it almost did. A little 2-year-old who I didn't even know was just running around with just a big old head just wobbling everywhere. I don't know if the 2-year-old bumped the vase. I don't know what happened. I just know at the side of my eye, I saw that big ass vase falling, about to land on that 2-year-old's head. That baby had the biggest head I've ever seen in my life. I'm talking about on any adult. But anyway, I don't know how I covered that much ground. I dove over there. Superman dove to just save that random kid. I don't know. Like that's in the nature of men, just a natural instinct to do that. So that is true that even regardless of what we see in viral videos, regardless of what we hear in the manosphere, most men, and yes, black men, and there's just as many tapes to show that black men will stump a dude out for doing something to a woman. That's a female. I've seen dudes get stumped out by whole neighborhoods because he did something to a woman. So dudes are still running out there reacting and doing that, regardless of what the manosphere is saying should or shouldn't be done. But however,
and guess what?
However, it's an interesting point if there's no legal protection for that. If a woman is getting beat up by her boyfriend and you spring into the action and you bust the dude up and knock him out, he can put you up on legal charges. That's what I wanted to say. If I understand that right, it could be legal charges brought on you. Let's just say if a woman is getting assaulted or some type of way, you come through with a baseball bat, knock the dude out clean cold, he in the coma. That can they charge you up with attempted manslaughter or some stuff like that?
Yes, they can.
Yep. Wow.
Yes, they can. And that's why dudes don't want to step in.
Go ahead.
The other side of this too is like there was a video going around last year. This was down in Mexico where a dude was with his girl and he was hitting on her, and another dude run up to him and hit him, and my man pulled out and just laced him up and killed him, and then grabbed the girl and walked off.
Like it was nothing. Like I saw the video. Like it was nothing.
They took it off.
Like
they took it off of YouTube. Yeah, they took it off YouTube, but I got a chance to see it before they took it off, because I think it got like over 1 million views before they realized it was up there. And I had gotten, I should have downloaded, but I had, I didn't think about that at the time. But my man was beating up his girl, and dude goes up to help, and my man pulls out, lace him up, and killed him, and then take his girl and walked off.
But hold on, we gotta go to Prophet of Thought. He been down there waiting patiently. Got to go to X, the Prophet of Thought from TPOT Media. All right, had to
open your mind
and wake your black ass up. Okay, I love when he say that in my intro. So shout out to Xavier in the building. I know he got something to say about these images on the screen, so I do gotta pass it to him. So let's go ahead, X. You got it.
Peace, Brother Bernard. Peace to the brothers on the panel. Peace to the chat. I think something we're missing here, because first and foremost, I think the whole, where we're unprotected and, we should be considered queens and all this kind of nonsense. I think that is at best a straw woman argument, and at worst just a flat out lie. Because of a few things, like I said before, I think we're missing something here. When these women talk about not being protected, it's not like, like you said, Brother Bernard, people are jumping out of the sky and doing something to these women. The Ku Klux Klan isn't burning crosses on their lawns, nor are they seeking protection from the dudes that, go upside their head. I mean, come on, let's be real. They love these guys. What they really want protection from is criticism.
Uh-oh.
They want to be protected from being called fat. They want to be protected from being compared to other women. These are the things they want protection from, man. They don't want protection. But let's be honest, man. There's no perpetrators jumping out of the trees doing stuff to these women. All right. And if you think about it, if you have a woman who has a husband, she's in a committed relationship, she doesn't talk about protection. The only women you hear talking this protection piece are the women who are not flying the flag of a man. These are the women that talk about this protection nonsense. They don't want protection, man, from the evils and the degenerates of the world, man. They want protection from being, number one, held accountable for their actions, right? Number two, they want protection from people actually asking greater things of them. They want protection from people just begging for them to be better. That's what they want protection from, man. They don't want protection from all these things, man, that they talk about. Because let's be honest, man, most women can walk up and down the most rough and rugged neighborhoods and not a daggone thing happens to them. We see a few videos on social media where somebody might have did something to some woman here and there. But most of those videos we see is something that she initiated. And I'll say something else and I'll shut up. When you have women who walk around and talk about how powerful they are and how queenly they are and how beautiful they are. I mean, if you are walking around and this is how you're describing yourself, why are you asking society, specifically black society, to reinforce these said qualities that you say you already have? Whenever a person
demanding, not asking, they're demanding.
Exactly. I mean, if you have all this going on, you're the most beautiful, you're the most educated, you hold down the rest of the society and all this kind of nonsense. Why do you seek so much validation? Why do you seek all this protection? Why do you seek all of these things that you claim you already are, you claim you already have, but you're constantly seeking them from everyone else? To me, that just doesn't make any sense.
They're blowing smoke. They're hitting you. They're blowing smoke. That's what they're doing. They're projecting that they have all this stuff. When really, if you were to put them in front of a poker table and you had like the cards were like all like protection and stuff like that, and protect and all sort of stuff and wealth, and they're projecting that they have it, and you call them on it, and they don't have it. So basically, they're bluffing. They're bluffing. They're bluffing that you do it instead of them. And what I have to say to you, X, I want to say this, sing this song to you, and I want to say, amen, amen, because you're telling the goddamn truth about it. You're telling the truth.
Yeah,
amen.
Man,
I'm like, amen,
it is.
Amen. It is what it is, man. It's a joke at this point.
Like we spoke about the other day. Like we spoke about the other day, Brother Bernard. The fact of the matter is this. Most of these women will grow old alone. All right? They will be the old women you see in the park feeding the pigeons, and they come home to a bunch of cats, dogs, and plants. That's just the reality of that. All right? That is the reality of it. And there's not a lot people can do about it. They read the tea leaves, and they want to distance themselves from the imminent reality, man, a lot of them. And I say again, I mean, if you want protection, the best way to get protection, especially from black men, is to fly a black man's flag. That's it.
Or shut up.
And you
when
say
things
fly,
are going down.
Fly, hold on, let's hear that. You say fly a black man's flag. But those that don't know exactly what you mean by that, what do you mean by that? What you talking about? Fly a black man's flag. What does that mean? What is that?
Well, to fly a black man's flag means, if, for instance, right, I'll put myself, let's do some anecdotal stuff, right? I have a wife, I have 2 adult daughters, right? I have 2 granddaughters. All of them have my last name, right? So they fly my flag, all right? They are under my protection, all right? And when I say protection, I don't just mean, I'll pump you full of holes over them. No. Me showing them what to do, what not to do, where to be, where not to be. All of that is an extension of my protection. All right. That's all an extension of my protection. And likewise, if my daughter or my granddaughter needs something, right? They don't have to like go to another man. Likewise, my wife, they don't have to go to another man. I mean, they can call me. All right. They can call me and say, hey, look, you know, like my wife, forget about it. She think I'm a walking ATM. But my daughters and my granddaughter, well, they think I'm one too. Let me go ahead and rephrase that. They all think I'm a walking ATM. But besides that, if they need something, right? They don't really have to go to another man. They don't have to put themselves on the block for another man. All right. Because anything that they need, you know, within reason, all right, they know they can come to me for it if they can't get it from anywhere else. That too is protection. Whether it means advice, whether it means money, whether it means, you know, anything, direction, guidance, all right? I mean, they are under my protection. Therefore, they fly my flag. All of them. That's what I mean when I say fly a man's flag. If you're not under a man's crest, you can't expect protection from said man. There is no blanket protection, all right? Because you have to examine, what are they seeking protection from? What are you seeking protection from? If you're just a person that's just going about your business and living your life, what are you seeking protection from? Nothing.
Right on. Good stuff. Good stuff, X. Good stuff. You definitely always knock it out the park. And oh, wait, before I pass the mic, grown man business is in the building. Shout out to you. He says, one time for brother X. Protection is correction. Salute, brother Bernard. 100%. Hashtag men first. Shout out to grown man business over there doing the Lord's work as well. Over there doing the Lord's work over there on his channel. Make sure y'all be checking that brother out as well. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. But X dropped something good on the table.
Hella good.
I've heard that before. I probably heard it from you. Hold on, wait. Somebody got to mute up. Somebody got some sound like they shoveling snow or something. The whole idea that they really just want protection from criticism. I do want to explore that some more. I'm passing to we're gonna Black Curls and Fatal Dose on that one. What do you think about that? What he said there, protection from criticism.
Okay, I'll say the criticism after the point about the legal protection, and also TPLT also mentioned X and mentioned how it's the women who don't have a man that are demanding protection. And with these women who demand protection, they're willing to sacrifice other women's men for protection. That is even less incentivized to protect them, because look, the man protects that woman and he loses his life protecting this single woman. What is she going to do for the women and her children? Nothing. Just, oh, thanks, your man died in honor of me. That's it. And also with the criticism thing, they just hate accountability. They do not want to introspect. The number one thing, obesity rate. Majority of them are obese. They don't want to talk about it. And actually, I'm going to drop something for you, Bernard, since I can't put links in the chat about the causes of their mortality rates. It's largely linked to their obesity. It's not because of black men.
Oh, okay. Yeah, drop that. I might do something on that. Or yeah, well, just drop something in the chat. I'll give you a wrench. That way you can drop it in the chat if you want to. But okay, I don't know if you're still there. We can hear you.
Yeah, that accountability piece is hard.
Fatal Dose. Go ahead. What's your thoughts on that? They want protection from correction, or no, protection from criticism. I meant to say they actually just want protection from criticism. Go ahead.
That's exactly what it is. And lately, the other thing I've been seeing some women throw around is in the Bible, in the book of Corinthians, it talks about husband, love your wives and sacrifice your life for her as Christ did for the church, right? So they're like, see, you're supposed to die for your husband. But right before that, they never read the part where it says, wives, submit yourself unto your husband as unto the Lord. So they're looking for a servant that will take all the hits, and it's like they're in a boxing match, and they keep grabbing the ref and putting the ref in front of the opponent to take the hits until they're ready to swing, and that's what they're looking for. And there's absolutely zero accountability amongst them. With few notable exceptions, I should say. But I see it across the board where most of them are asking for protection, because I've had these conversations outside of YouTube with sisters, and I have to make them see what they're asking me for is for me to give up my life for someone I don't even know. They don't even look at it that way. In fact, they don't even value our lives just by the fact that they're asking us to throw it away on the count of someone you don't know. And when I ask the sisters, hey, look, suppose she just robbed him and she's running out with his money, and he's out there beating her up trying to get his money back, and I attack him because all I saw was a man beating a woman. I have no idea why he's doing it. Suppose she just killed someone in his house, and there's never any answer, which means they just want us to throw away our lives for their benefit. And that's a big problem, because they don't want to take accountability for anything they do. So it's, look, I'm a roll with Pookie, the drug dealer here. But if you walk, and I ain't gonna talk to the brother I call the educated lane. But if the educated lane walks by and see Pookie tooling me up a little bit, he needs to jump in and wipe away my accountability for the choice that I made, which is exactly what they're asking us to do.
The hell with that.
Right on.
The hell
right
with
on.
that.
One thing that's interesting, and we've heard women do that in these conversations. And like I've said before, most men do be reacting out there when stuff goes down. But the women who have been in these spaces who have said, oh, yeah, you're supposed to protect. Y'all better protect. Y'all do this, y'all do that. If something happens, you jump in there and protect. And it don't matter if she's right or wrong. Y'all see a black woman in some danger, you dive in there, save the day. And then some of these black women, they have boyfriends or long-term live-in boyfriends or husbands or fiancés. We like, okay, cool. You want your husband or fiancé running in there, diving into that situation, not knowing what's going on? Oh, well, then they start fumbling, and then they realize that, oh, they don't want to potentially lose their man trying to protect some ratchetry, trying to protect a woman from some dude who she's about to be back bouncing on. I'm trying to keep it clean. Y'all know where I'm going. She gonna be right back on it. She's gonna be right back on it the next day. So you jump in that situation. When we say, do you want your man putting his life on the line for some other random woman doing some random stuff that she probably play a major part in all of it? Yeah, they didn't want that, but they do want to criticize men. But as far as that protection, this is the main part I wanted to get to. Anyway, wait, hold on. Shout out Chief Rocker for the super stick. Appreciate that. Consul Murray just came through with a super chat. I'll read that momentarily, but I do want to make sure I make this point before I forget. On the whole, they want protection from correction thing. When it came to, not protection from correction. That rhymes, so I keep saying it. Protection from criticism. When it came to the kitchen cocktail situation and the Kevin Samuels situation that went viral, one woman circled that back to how unprotected black women are, and nobody stands up for black women. Now, what was that situation? A guy was criticizing some black women, and a black woman with a platform of over 160,000 views, who's recently been talking. She's talking about black love. Now she's talking about divesting a lot. So there's that. Figure that one out. But what this woman is ranting and raving and railing about is how unprotected black women are. But the two situations that most recently got her talking about how unprotected they are are situations that went viral where black women were criticized. So that's why X really knocked it out the park in saying that they want protection from criticism. They want protection from being criticized. They want to be able to do what they want to do without coronavirus, without being critiqued, criticized, or told that they are wrong. Counselor Murray in the building with a super chat. Appreciate that. He says, I woke up to Teacher Campbell. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Woke up to Teacher Campbell bombing on her ex-husband, Dwayne Martin, from Above the Rim. One of my favorite movies back in the way. I like my basketball movies. Shaking my head. Sometimes I wish the men would defend themselves and give their side of the story. Salute.
Hey, this is what the manosphere should be for.
See, but the thing about
hold on, wait, time out. When you say bombing on her ex-husband, what are you talking about? Y'all know what you're talking about?
No.
Yeah, I saw an article yesterday where she was.
Wait, hold on. Let the person who saw it talk. Go ahead.
I saw an article yesterday where she essentially was blaming him for being broke and not having any money in the marriage.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, he left her with $7.
Both of them were, big at one point, or big-ish. I mean, Teacher Campbell was on Martin or whatnot. But both of them, and she was a wife on My Wife and Kids or whatever. So, she had a little run there. He had his little runs. He was in movies for a while, but then he became a B-list actor, and so did she. So they were two, kind of A-listers from the mid to late 90s who turned into B-listers once the 2000s got going. So they were two, somewhat struggling B-list actors, kind of living off a name from past glory. That's kind of ridiculous to try to put either one of them to charge the other one up for being broke. They both were actors. That's a tough game. It's a tough business. You high when you're high, you're low when you're low. But I do know he was on that show, House Husbands of what was that show
Hollywood,
called?
Yeah. House Husbands of Hollywood.
Yeah, House Husbands of Hollywood. And those reality shows, they pay like regular shows. So he was one of the
she was
stars.
on it.
Yeah, so he was one of the stars of a show that Kevin Hart was on. So I'm sure he got paid for that, but I'm sure that well has run dry. And now they both can't find a damn job, probably. She's an older woman, probably closing in on 50, if they're not over 50. His glory days of Above the Rim are long far behind him. So of course, kind of broke if I broke. That's a tough business. When you make it to the top in acting, unless you some Will Smith or Denzel Washington, you got to manage and invest that money, because you can go from A-list to B-list real fast. So that's kind of goofy. That's kind of goofy for her if she was charging him up with being broke. Go ahead, Nerdine.
But Bernard, let him defend himself and actually let's hear his side of the story. See if that man would have come on out and defend his side of the story, he'd be the bad guy. See, we always have to look bad no matter what. So that's the reason why these guys are leaving. That's why, I feel bad. I feel bad sometimes, but after a while, I'm like, you know what? I understand why we're leaving.
And chances are in the marriage, she was probably the big spender, trying to keep up with the rest of the Hollywood actors and wasted their money. But now she's like, go out and make more. And since he's a has-been, he can't go out and make more. She's pissed.
Yeah, but they both. Go ahead.
I bet. Let's say he gets something that lands him really, really big and stuff like that. She's gonna try to get in on that money. I would bet my ridiculous school bus paycheck on it.
I would bet my ridiculous school bus paycheck. That sounds funny.
Yes,
right, go ahead.
I will bet my ridiculous paycheck on it.
Man. You a bus driver, or you? I'll be seeing you in that.
I'm a school bus driver.
Okay, I don't know why I thought you were a cop for probably because of the thumbnail picture. I thought you was a cop.
I was at the Halloween parade.
Okay, you was in a Halloween costume right there.
Yeah. The thing about it is that I'm working hard to get my CDL.
I was just about to say that.
My class B. I have my class B, and I'm working to get my class A. And I recommend this to all black men who are like in high school and stuff like that. You can get your commercial driver's license when you're in high school. You know that, right? That way, you can.
I got it in high school.
Yep. See, you can get. What happens is you get your class B, but you can't get. There's certain restrictions. Like you can't get your hazmat until you could take the test and you can pass it and you can put your fingerprints on it, but you cannot get your hazmat until you turn 21, and you can't get your Class A until you're 21. So what my friends did and I did was, my friend works for Coca-Cola, and he drives the trucks. He's been doing it since we all graduated from high school, and he's in the the top low six-figure earners and stuff like that. Now that woman who was that came on Kevin Samuel's show, she wouldn't like that guy because he ain't owning a business or whatever, but he's making six figures. He's making what you want, okay? But yet you'll reject him because he works for Coca-Cola. See, that's the reason why. You know who's paying attention to these guys? Those Pogs, those Beckys, and those busty Latinas, because they see it. Because you know what happened is, you know what's going on is they're looking at black women like, yo, y'all are fools. Y'all are blowing away this low six-figure guy because y'all have an ego. Okay, no problem.
Nardine, you have a way of circling every conversation back to Pogs and busty Latinas.
No,
but no,
what I'm saying is that
I want to ask you. No, I got you. What I want to ask you though is
yeah.
So the license you gotta have to drive the bus. That's different from obviously. Well, I think that's obviously different from the license you gotta have to be a full blown truck driver out on the road doing with MOT. Well, MOT got a whole fleet, but to be the CDL, that's you got to drive. That's you got to have to drive those big ass 18-wheelers and make the big money to get the big bucks coming in like that, right?
There are three classes. There's class C, B, and A. Now with the class A, you could have a passenger endorsement. That's basically you could drive a tractor trailer, anything 26,000 pounds and above. That's a class A. Okay, that's like when you see like the tractor trailers and they driving those huge trucks or whatever. But the more endorsements that you have, the better looking that you are. There are people with tractor trailer licenses and driving buses.
Okay, but it don't take in my research. It don't take that much to have the CDL where you driving the trucks when you can some them truck drivers that be making six figures be living out on the road. It don't take in my research. It don't take that much to get that. I mean, MOT. Yeah,
it only takes about like if you're really interested and you really want to go for the high classes that they offer, it only costs about like $3,000 to $4,000.
Oh, it didn't even cost that much. But in my research, it didn't cost that much.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that it's better than paying $250,000 for a degree that's going to be useless. It's going to stick on your wall.
Oh no, yeah, we get that. We get that over here, no doubt about that. But what I'm saying is, I like put it like this. We be talking a lot about STEM and brothers going into engineering and all that. Yeah, I mean, no, picking up a skilled trade, that's doable. Plumbing, carpentry, all of that. Definitely get into all of that. But when you're talking about STEM, like engineering, everybody ain't cut off all the math classes. But trucking, like everybody, black men need to take that business that went over. Like flat out.
Because the thing about it is that my friend owns his own business.
It's easy to do. It's no reason anybody can pass that stuff. Mr. Negative, the negative man said. Oh, shout out to Silent Lamont said Nuruddin is Mr. Fizzle. I don't even know who that is, but I think Grinch a truck driver, right? Yeah, shout out to Grinch too as well. Grinch a truck driver. But brothers need to a lot of y'all let some nomadic Rolling Stones as it is. Y'all might as well get on the damn road and live on the road and make that damn money. Yeah, definitely.
And brothers, I thought about local companies that will hire you.
Yeah.
There are local companies that will hire you. I could name a few: U.S. Foods, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Canada Dry, Walmart, Target. Go to your local stores. Go to the local stores, your local supermarkets. You got Stop and Shop. They need truck drivers, like it's going out of style. The federal government needs truck drivers. The U.S. Post Office, even the Army. I'm just naming a few. Because when I was in my commercial truck school, my driving school, I had nothing but recruiters coming in. They were coming in like every 2 hours. CR England. Even if you don't have a class A commercial driver's license, you go and you take their classes. They pay you. They set you up in hotels and they pay you and they train you to be a truck driver. And then NFI, you know, all these other things. And that's just like on the dry side. You're talking about hazmat. You can drive hazardous material trucks like home heating oil, diesel fuel, jet fuel. You could do it on the runways for airports. You could do it in homes for businesses. You could do it for buildings in Manhattan, especially in New York City. We're not asking for truck drivers. We're begging for them. The federal government, when you had military recruiters saying, "Listen, we're not asking for you to be a truck driver. We're begging and pleading you to be a truck driver because we need them." And the military, the federal government pays more than what a lot of local companies pay because they got contracts like the State Department. They need truck drivers. The Army needs truck drivers. The Department of Defense needs truck drivers to do the things that they need. Now, if you have like your hazmat, your TWIC, and all sorts of good stuff, that's a federal ID. You can go places where even top generals can't go because you're taking on hazardous materials. You're driving hazardous materials. You could deal with them, and the more endorsements and the more certificates you get, the higher value that you get, the higher money that you get. So instead of you making $130,000 with a Class A and the tractor trailer endorsement, you get $254,000 because you got that hazardous material, you got your TWIC, you got your HazWhopper, you got your Class A commercial driver's license. That all pays off in the end, guys. Black men, take that opportunity, man. You got the world is out there once you get that CDL. I got my Class B and I'm going for my hazmat, and the world is still open to me. You could be a school bus driver. You could be a straight truck driver. There in New York City, we're constantly bleeding. We're constantly bleeding for truck drivers, especially during this whole pandemic. So take it, fellas.
Right on. AJC in Red says Daps Bernard in chat. Definitely shout out to AJC in Red. Yeah. In my experience, in my little research I was doing, I would never. I mean, right now I can't do it. I won't say can't. I opt not to do it just because, situation with my kids. I ain't trying to be living out on the road. If I got my CDL and I found something where I was, home pretty much every night, that would yeah, it's possible. It's possible to do it that way.
You can do that.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, I'm good. I'm good right now. I'm good right now with what I'm doing and what I got going on. But that was an option on the table for me at one point. I didn't go that way, but it definitely, out of everything that I had planned on, that I was going when I was figuring out what was my next move in life, that was definitely one that was at the top of the list. And I won't say it won't never happen. I won't. It's very possible.
But Bernard,
that it could. Yeah, go ahead.
Bernard, you know that you could just get your Class C commercial driver's license just by taking the written test. All you have to do is just take the written test and say, "Hey, listen, I would like to get my Class C commercial driver's license." They'll switch it over. They'll switch your license over, and it's good to have that license because you never know when things gonna go. You never know when things go bad. You never know when things go bad in your life. You never know that. But the thing about it, it's another tool on your belt.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
When you let's say you get your Class A commercial driver's license, right? The produce companies like U.S. Foods and stuff like that, they have local food distributions in your area where you could be home like every you go to work at 5 a.m, you be back at like 2:30 in the afternoon. Coca-Cola is the same thing. You go out at 5 a.m, you come back at around like 3, 4 o'clock. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's back making work because you got to do everything yourself, but you're home and you make more depending on what company you work for. So black men, take that. I mean, think about it. Look at next time, go to a Coca-Cola driver who's driving that big tractor trailer and ask him, just pick his brain. Be like, you know what? I'm going for my I'm going for my CDL, blah, 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 blah. What do I have to do? Just ask a lot of questions and just pick his brain. And I'm telling you, those Coca-Cola drivers, they make so much money. They're happy. And they're happy. Yeah, he says, yeah, you got great health insurance because your back is gonna hurt. But I'd rather do that. And guess what? Even law enforcement, Because remember, they got command buses. They got, you know, like the Department of Corrections here.
But also I recommend this as well. And Ramil did a good stream with MOT where they were talking about how to get into business, not just from a driver standpoint. Like it don't take that much
as an owner.
It don't take that much to own a truck either. So far as even if you
That's
own
right.
the truck, you can make money off of that. That's something that I've been doing some research into that as well. So that's definitely something. I mean, I will try to get in that business. I mean, I already talked about how my son, who's going to be finishing up high school this year, he's going to be taking classes at the Greater Michigan Construction Academy. They're basically going to be picking up a skilled trade from there. Going to be picking up a trade from there. But truck driver. I mean,
encourage him to get that CDO.
Yeah,
encourage him to get that CDL also.
That's something. Yeah, that's a tool that I'll make sure he got in his back pocket as well. But,
those dumb truck drivers, they're making over $130,000 a year. You know those construction sites where you see them like taking like old bricks and stuff like that. Those guys are making over $130,000 a year. You know, my niece's mom, who's a correction officer, she's the one that put the CDL manual in my lap because she drives the prison buses, and she says I make more as a correction officer driving the prison bus than actually staying on Rikers Island. So she did not let me not read that book until I got fed up with it, and that's when I started studying and started picking it up. I'm telling you, and if you need help, Bernard, I got this program for you.
Oh no,
it's online. No, I'm saying if you're ready to take it, I can give you the website, and you buy like whatever you need, and you take it, and you go to the DMV, you take it, and most of the questions that you see on these programs are going to be the same questions that's going to be on the test. I can give you that information.
No, I'm solid on it. I'm solid with what I got going on right now. I got a lot on my plate right now, so I'm solid with what I got going on right now. But that is a weapon, or I should say a tool that I'm going to make sure my sons got in their tool belt they're I'm getting them into a lot of things. But I'm solid with what I got going on right now with the direction that I'm going. But it is something I'll be something if need be I'll consider that. But I'm looking more and going into like the business end of it. I'd rather own a fleet. But if I'm going to own a fleet, I think I do need to probably I feel like if you're going to get into a business, you do got to get your hands
learn how to drive.
Dirty. Yeah, you got to get your hands dirty with the actual work aspect of it. Like I said, MOT owned a fleet that's worth something in the millions, but he's still hands dirty. He hands dirty on the road, getting out there driving. So if I do ever get in that business, I would have to learn to drive. I think that's just the nature of the game. But I got enough of my play. I got hold on. Calm down. Pump the brakes, Nerdine. You be too anxious on this. Calm it down. Easy. At ease, soldier. At ease. But yeah, that's if I do get into it from the business side of it, I would definitely learn to drive. Opinionated Brother Radio says I have a CDL. Make how many zeros is that? 90,000 a year in Chicago.
90,000.
That's where it's at. That's where it's at, man. So like I say, brothers, that's a business. That's the business we need to take over. The trucking business, and as well, I talk about how my house is paid for. It was a foreclosed house that I bought real cheap. That right there too. Property and trucking. Those are things that we do got to get into. When they throw out that net worth of white people, that don't mean liquid cash that they got, that they could just go to the ATM and pull out $117,000. No, they ain't balling like that. Average white person make $50,000. Average person in America make $50,000. Average white man makes $50,000. That high net worth that they have is property, owning property. And Hispanics and Latinos are smart enough to where they buying up a lot of property. They understand the value in that. We don't understand the value in that. Even black people who are in the top 10% don't buy as much property as they got a lower net worth. Now, yeah, you could say some of it is generational. That's a factor in the equation, but still, apples to apples with top 10 percenters, the white people still have a net worth that's like over 10 times higher. So go figure that one out, So it's a lot of we do got to culturally make some changes and whatnot on how we doing things here. So yeah, taking over the trucking business and buying up property, that is the way to go. That's the start. That's where we need to go with this thing. We at the past the 3 hour mark, so we're about to get up to air pretty soon. If I got new subscribers in here, because like as somebody pointed out, I'm about to hit 4,000 subs. I was at like 3,600 and some change, but yeah, my recent video that went semi-viral, yeah, just brought in a lot of new subs. So if I got a lot of new subs in here, salute to you. Shout out to everybody that's new in the building. Make sure y'all bang the bell so y'all catch it when I go live. I try to go live damn near every day at 9 a.m. But Monday through Friday is the strong schedule that I try to stick with. But I do Saturdays things like I'm doing right now. And I might do Sunday too. But we'll see about that. But either way, be that as it may, I go to Fatal Dose. Ain't said nothing in a while. If you're still there, you can go in and get some closing parting shots. We was talking about business and trucking and all of that, or you can give your last comment
flipping properties
on the video that we got here. Speaking of trucking, I bet this Queen / Kang sitting on the throne. I bet she drive a truck.
Yeah, man. Look, I know a brother who was a school superintendent, and when his career ended, went into trucking because that's the only way he could make even near what he used to make is through driving a truck. So the money's out there if you're willing to put in the work for it.
And the endorsements really help you too. Because what I'm doing is I'm building it up slowly. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the hazmat test next year along with my HazWhopper. So I can increase myself. So anyone who drives that like a hazmat truck or whatever, their pay shoots up dramatically. Instead of you making instead of making like $18 an hour, you're gonna make at least like $26 an hour. Because remember, you're carrying something that's dangerous. And also, if you get your HazWhopper on top of that, you're making $50 an hour because not only are you driving hazardous materials, and let's say you work for like let's say the Army or something like that. Let's say the Army contracted you, and you have not only your hazardous materials, but you have your HazWhopper. That means you can respond and clean and maintain hazardous materials. You're talking about a good $40 to $50. And to get that, I know it's expensive when you're getting it. I get it, but it's worth it in the end. Okay? So these sisters that's getting these high degrees that are not really worth anything, you should really pay attention. I see sisters getting into the trucking game. I see it. I see them. And
yeah,
I applaud them.
Interrupt you briefly. I think Erica Williams is more or less on that. She be educating people on how to get into it. So yeah, even if, on the non-driving end of it, there's Instagram pages. Yeah. I follow a few of them where they talk about that when people who be buying trucks, they posted that day they bought their truck, and a lot of them post the success of it. It's a business to get into.
Yeah,
you buy that truck, you find the driver, you sit back, you sit back and make the money while you got a driver out there driving for you. But it's a lot of odds and ends and details. It's not just easy, just instant smooth selling. So it's a lot of know-how on the business end of it, and it's some work in the actual work and driving end of it. So yeah, all of that definitely
and now
matters.
Since you got all these trucking apps, and now since you got all these apps where you could be not only the broker but the driver. Because a friend of mine started out like that. He found this trucking app, and he used to drive like cars for Ford dealerships and stuff like that. And it's not a matter of getting it, being speedy. It's about getting it safely and getting it there in one piece. So you started out doing it for Ford for about 3 years, and then Chevy picked them up. Because when you're your own independent contract, your own business person or whatever, without a broker, you set the terms, you set the rules. Now they're gonna offer you. You always start out. Everybody starts out with the highest offer, but what happens is you go lower to meet whatever, and then they give you the contract. So my friend was able to start out like that, and because he has like his own car loaders, they call them parking lots. They call them parking lots. So what happens is that once he started doing that, he was able to get like the new Ford Mustang. he got it off the showroom floor, not paying $70,000 to $80,000. You know how much he paid for it, Bernard?
How much?
The brand new Ford Mustang, like the one that just came out. He paid about $22,000 for it. Drove it right off the showroom floor. Right off the showroom floor. He was like, yo, you know, I do like it. And he said, I have the money. They were like, oh, what do you have? Oh, you want to drive? Oh, don't worry about it. You know, you do good work and this and the third. Oh, instead of he went to the director of sales in that dealership. They was like, oh, that's $70,000. Oh no, knock it down. Pay $25,000. And he drove right out. He drove right out the lot. I was there when he did it.
Right.
I was like, hey, and he did it with all that good stuff. And now, he does everything himself. But the way he has his business set up is that he has like he has it to where like he's like in the port cities like New York, Miami, because he bought land. He bought like the real estate and the land, and he's doing pretty well for himself. So if let's say you have produce that has to go from, let's say, New York, from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, he flies. It's like if he's in New York, he flies out to Los Angeles, picks up his truck, picks up the produce, and drives to Las Vegas and drives back. Yeah, freaking fire miles on that. So it's pretty good. Right. So he does everything himself.
Right on.
Take it over, brothers.
Yeah.
And also flipping houses. Take that over too. But I still can't believe that Cynthia G called MOT, who's worth a couple of $1 million, dusty.
Hey, don't. Nah. It's my call. It's my call whether or not we're going to be randomly bringing up other. No, content.
I'm just saying women like her.
I understand. But no, let's not do that. Let's not go there. But yeah, that was an epic moment when we found out that a man worth almost $10 million is can still be dusty. If he has if he's of a darker, if he's of African descent. We found that out. Yes. All right. Terrell Boxley in the building with a super chat. He says, I have my class B. You're making me think of switching. Shout out to Terrell Boxley, aka Box in the building, with a super chat. And we had some imagery up this whole show that was bad imagery of people doing it wrong. So as we get off the air, we're just going to put an image of how that's actually supposed to look. That's how it's supposed to look right there in the picture family photo where there's a king and a queen in one chair in a photo. The king sits on the throne with his wife to the left and the children either flanked to the right. You get it. We get it. That's how it's supposed to look, people. That's how it's supposed to look. But all right, then we gotta leave on some good imagery. Of a real king and a real queen, even though they're fictional characters. But that's a real king and a real queen right there. That's how it's supposed to look. But all right, guys. We about to get up out of here.
Bernard.
Later, man. Peace. But so I might see y'all tomorrow. Or if not tomorrow, definitely Monday. So with that said, we are up out of here. Peace.